knows I just wanna keep moving. Keep my head up when I act, head up, that's a fact. Never looking back, I'ma keep myself on track. Keep my head up, staying strong, always moving on. Feel I don't belong, tell my thoughts to move along. Push myself to be the best, die with no regrets. Live with every breath, see my message start to spread. And I had so many dreams, then you hit your teens. Life ain't really what it seems, try to find out what it means. Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Yeah, I put out all this art, it's my only medicine. Yeah, everything I do, I'm just being genuine. Yeah, I'm sick of being screwed, feel my own adrenaline. Yeah, I do just what I do, and I hope you let me in, yeah. I'm grateful, oh yeah, able, oh yeah, I'm stable, oh yeah, no label, oh yeah, you know me, I have only a path, I'm lonely, but damn, I'm going to win. I don't want no fake love, I want the real stuff. Everybody listen up, cause I'll only say it once. I'm gonna show you all the path, if you want it bad, I'm gonna show you where it's at. Yeah, how my own adrenaline, yeah, I do just what I do, and I hope you let me in, yeah. I'm grateful, oh yeah, able, oh yeah, I'm stable, oh yeah, no label, oh yeah, you know me, I have only a path, I'm lonely, but damn, I'm going to win. I don't want no fake love, I want the real stuff. Everybody listen up, cause I'll only say it once. I'm gonna show you all the path, if you want it bad, I'm gonna show you where it's at. Yeah, how you can get it back, yeah, cause I ain't never done, I'll be number one. Working hella hard until I get just what I want, yeah. Rises like the sun, yeah, fatal like a gun. Shooter's gonna shoot and I'm gonna shoot until I won, yeah. Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Yeah, I put out all this art, it's my only medicine. Yeah, everything I do, I'm just being genuine. Yeah, I'm sick of being screwed, feel my own adrenaline. Yeah, I do just what I do, and I hope you let me in, yeah. I'm grateful, oh yeah, able, oh yeah, I'm stable, oh yeah, no label, oh yeah, you know me, I have only a path, I'm lonely, but damn, I'm going to win, yeah. Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Keep my head up when I act, head up, that's a fact. Never looking back, I'ma keep myself on track. Keep my head up, staying strong, always moving on. Feel I don't belong, tell my thoughts to move along. Push myself to be the best, die with no regrets. Live with every breath, see my message start to spread. And I had so many dreams, then you hit your teens. Life ain't really what it seems, try to find out what it means. Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Keep my head up when I act, head up that's a fact. Never looking back, I'ma keep myself on track. Keep my head up staying strong, always moving on. Feel I don't belong, tell my thoughts to move along. Push myself to be the best, die with no regrets. Live with every breath, see my message start to spread. And I had so many dreams, then you hit your teens. Life ain't really what it seems, try to find out what it means. Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Yeah, I put out all this art, it's my only medicine. Yeah, everything I do, I'm just being genuine. Yeah, I'm sick of being screwed, feel my own adrenaline. Yeah, I do just what I do, and I hope you let me in, yeah.
Hello guys, welcome guys. Okay, how are you
think
doing?
so.
Ooh. The jar is nice. मजा आ गया देख के. Okay guys, welcome to the stream. I'm back again with another live stream where we talk. It's just chatting slash podcast. How are you doing guys? Hi Lalit, hi Mukesh, hi Ken, Kan Kaniki giving?
Can
Can I
can
can I pronounce this? मुझे आज थोड़ा hard है लेकिन ये. Am I pronouncing it right?
yes.
अच्छा ये स्क्रीन छोटा, इसको छोटा कर सकती थी मैं. Okay, wait. Fine, it's fine.
मस्त है ना?
So हाँ. कुछ तो नया नया लग रहा. सही है.
Wrong spell.
Oh, it's looking so nice.
It's good. Very good.
Oh my God, जब भी मैं मेरे दूसरे वाले फोन में स्ट्रीम देखती हूँ ना, ऐसे लगता है. हाँ, मतलब ये वाला फ़ोन बाद में लिया था ना,
अच्छा
इसमें कुछ तो है. आई थिंक समथिंग एकदम
Oh.
कलर्स एकदम ऐसे पॉपिंग आउट, एकदम अच्छे से दिखते एकदम. समथिंग. हाँ.
Yeah, some displays are quite
हाय विनीत, हेलो, वेलकम. ओके. हाय तनिष, हाउ आर यू डूइंग?
soul आ गया soul.
आज का थंबनेल कैसा लगा? हाँ, बाय द वे गाइस, यू टेल मी, आज का थंबनेल कैसा लगा? क्योंकि I made it from scratch. You should tell me. कल का थंबनेल भी बहुत अच्छा था. Something like I just like the thumbnail. I don't know. It's like sometimes I feel like मैंने ये थंबनेल बनाया, मुझे इतना अच्छा लग रहा है. Sometimes it's like हाँ मैं जा के देखी हूँ, पता है. उन को भी खिलोगे. जल्दी खिलूंगी. आज तो नहीं, मतलब होगा. Very soon.
Oh.
Hola, hi. How are you doing? Welcome. एकदम कड़क. थैंक यू. बाय द वे गाइस, जो भी नए आ रहे हैं, सब्सक्राइब क्लिक करना. उसके पहले अपने अकाउंट को क्या बोलते हैं उसको, प्राइवेट से पब्लिक कर दो. वो सब्सक्रिप्शन वाला था ना, क्या था?
सब्सक्राइब, हाँ सब्सक्राइब।
नहीं, वो पब्लिक क्या करना होता है सेटिंग में?
प्रोफाइल प्रोफाइल।
अच्छा, जस्ट प्रोफाइल
ओ
शुड बी पब्लिक।
यस, यूट्यूब
तो वो
प्रोफाइल शुड
जो
बी पब्लिक।
तो जो जार दिख रहा है स्क्रीन पे, वो जार में एक कैंडी गिरेगा या मेरा फोटो, ठीक है? ओ ओ यू आर द सेम, ओके। हाँ, नहीं, लेकिन नया अगर अकाउंट होगा ना तुम्हारा ही, तुम कर सकते हो वापस सब्सक्राइब। तो वो जैसे क्लिक करोगे ना, तो वो जार में वापस एक कैंडी गिरेगा।
बिल्कुल खतरनाक एकदम, चलाने में।
अंदर दो कैंडी ना गोल गोल घूम रहे हैं, देखना जरा।
वो जरा अच्छा।
जरा गोल गोल घूमना है उनको। ओके, हम लोग को लग रहा कोई किसी की बात नहीं सुन रहा और गेम खेले जा रहा। नहीं, एक्चुअली थोड़ा थोड़ा आज नया सेटअप था ना, इसलिए स्टार्ट करने में थोड़ा टाइम लग गया। बट ये अच्छा लग रहा है। ओह ये चैट नहीं आ रहा है क्या चैट सेक्शन में?
आ रहा ना?
आ रहा?
नहीं, वो आके डिसअपियर हो जाता।
गया, अच्छा, ओके ओके। मेरे 5 अकाउंट है, सब्सक्राइब करो, हाँ करो। बट वो वैसे ही आपको चेक करना पड़ेगा, प्रोफाइल प्राइवेट नहीं होना चाहिए, पब्लिक होगा तो ही उसमें गिरेगा जार में। अच्छा है ना? आई डोंट नो, अभी तो इतना नहीं अच्छे से पता है, बट लेट्स सी हाउ आई लाइक इट। आई माइट चेंज इट अगेन, बट अभी के लिए आई थिंक दिस इज लुकिंग गुड। मुझे तो अच्छा लग रहा है बिकॉज इट्स लाइक फुल ट्रांसफॉर्मर टाइप सा। वो ट्रांजिशन तो बहुत अच्छा है। डिड यू लाइक इट?
यस, इट्स एक्चुअली थोड़ा फ्यूचरिस्टिक लग रहा पूरा।
है ना? जस्ट लाइक इट।
फ्यूचरिस्टिक। लाइक भी कर देना, अरे
अरे,
ऐसे नहीं हो।
लाइक तो मैंडेटरी है, ऐसे कैसे? तो what are we talking about today?
um today's podcast is mainly based on personalities
Mm-hmm.
and what type of things, everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's something quite interesting, like the whole concept of what people label themselves, why
Actually,
and why they shouldn't do that.
I think no one should do that. I mean, like, people think that should be done, but it's not necessary.
Mm,
I mean, it's just like how people, you know, treat religions. In
mm,
fact, they
yeah,
shouldn't do that because religion is just for celebrating their own culture,
yeah,
but they don't enjoy it. Just look in a different way.
yeah. I mean, it's quite something that we'll have to understand.
Actually,
Just are human beings. Just can't label ourselves. मैं ये हूँ, मैं वो ऐसा है, वो वैसा. There's actually something like
mhm,
once people start coming in, I guess, filter. about it.
Yeah, that's very true.
Uh,
What was I thinking?
uh-huh.
Ki just by then,
Yeah,
should we go to the undiscovered mini games of It Takes Two?
yeah. Arre,
Like we can just talk, take breaks,
हाँ, अरे
and do things.
आराम से.
Aisa, what do you say?
It's actually something good. Like even they will
Like I'm
actually.
missing that game. So I don't feel like it will be boring.
Okay.
Firstly, so I don't know. I just want to play. मुझे तो बहाना चाहिए ऐसा लग रहा है अब तो खेलने का
सही है, सही है. Even they'll
ना.
enjoy it.
Yes, we can select chapters. Maybe we'll
इसमें
discover.
इसमें ना, हाँ,
हाँ, ऐसे
कुछ भी.
करेंगे. कुछ भी क्या था
कुछ
सच
भी.
में. कुछ भी एक्चुअली कुछ भी पॉडकास्ट था ना तो कुछ भी कर सकती हूँ मैं ऐसा.
कुछ भी का सीन.
हाय राहुल.
कुछ भी लग रहा
राहुल
है.
will be like चल क्या रहा है. होने क्या वाला है. एग्जैक्टली बता दो मुझे. Why are you rolling eyes, Rahul? But that face.
These are so confused.
Already.
Uh, like it's basically mentioned podcast, but then something happening.
It is. I'm not changing the screen yet. तो अभी तक तो नहीं पता है. अर्नब वाला कुछ भी. अच्छा वैसा वाला क्या.
Oh,
कैसे हो राहुल. वेलकम टू द स्ट्रीम. लाइक करो जल्दी जल्दी. सारे अकाउंट से लाइक कर दो. और राहुल तुम्हारा कोई नया अकाउंट है क्या जिससे तुमने सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया होगा मेरे चैनल को जो पब्लिक है और प्रोफाइल. बिकॉज ऐसा है अगर तो तुम ये जो ग्लास जार है उसमें एक कैंडी गिरते हुए देख सकोगे. ये ग्लास जार थोड़ा नीचे करना चाहिए ना. वो बैर के नाक के ऊपर आ रहा है. थोड़ा छोटा कर सकती हूँ. और मे बी ओके ये ठीक है क्या. आई थिंक दिस इज गुड. या
oh, this is actually looking like the bed's carrying it.
हाँ ना. हाँ अच्छा ऐसे ही होगा देखना भी. उसमें ना तुम सब्सक्राइब करोगे तो गिरेगा अंदर उसके.
Yes.
क्या बातें चल रही है. बातें चल रही है पर्सनालिटी टाइप्स एंड पीपल labeling putting boxes. Today you can share what all you can or you want to regarding that. Okay. So वाह मुझे अंधेरे में दिख नहीं रहा. यूएसबी पोर्ट का मेरे साथ ही ऐसे होता है या फिर सबके साथ होता है. मैं ना यूएसबी पोर्ट जैसा राइट डायरेक्शन होता है ना डालने जाती हूँ तो नहीं जाता है. सेकंड टाइम रॉन्ग डायरेक्शन करके डाल देती हूँ. फिर थर्ड टाइम लग जाता है.
Oh, it's there's an easy way to do that.
इज इट.
Yeah. If you touch
बट
the silver part, there are two openings, right? It should be facing towards you when you are inserting the USB.
हाँ आई नो आई नो. still like I always know it, but I do it this way. I don't know why. It's like sometimes it
Same.
is perfect, but oh, full transition. मज़ा आ गया। हुँ, अच्छा इतना किया उसका मतलब समझ में आया नहीं आया? हाय सर्वेश, हेलो हेलो, वेलकम टू द स्ट्रीम कैसे हो? आज होगा ना थोड़ा-थोड़ा गेम भी खेल लेंगे, ऐसे ही टाइम पास। आज कुछ बातें ज़्यादा होगी, गेम कम होगा। हाउ आर यू डूइंग? इफ यू आर न्यू, प्लीज़ हिट द लाइक एंड सब्सक्राइब। लाइक कितने हो गए? ओहो! क्या बात है, 14 लाइक्स और थोड़े से चाहिए, 20 लाइक्स तो हो ही जाएँगे आज, कुछ भी करके। ज़्यादा ही होंगे लग रहा है। ओके, वी शुड वी
या कैन हूँ मैं। अच्छा, कैन ही है वो।
ओह! इज़ इट? ओके,
कैन
नाइस।
विथ हिज
रियल नेम? Maybe, or
मल्टीपल
maybe
इनसेन अकाउंट।
it's his siblings account. सब्सक्राइब किया क्या तुमने?
सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया लग रहा है।
वेट, तो नहीं दिखेगा जार में गिरा हुआ कुछ।
सब्सक्राइब करो यार। अच्छा हाँ, वो एक्चुअली कैसे करते हैं, यू हैव
हम्म,
टू चेक योर यूट्यूब प्रोफाइल, प्राइवेसी सेटिंग में देखना पड़ेगा, एंड देन यू कैन नो, तब दिखेगा वो।
हाँ। हेलो आईक्यू गेमिंग कैसे हो? वेलकम वेलकम।
यू ओहो, वैलोरेंट का।
ओ रियल नेम वो है, अच्छा। कैसे हो? व्हाट्स अप? आई एम गुड। हाउ आर यू डूइंग?
कहाँ तक पहुँचा आईक्यू का रैंक?
ज्यादा बड़ा नहीं है। हाँ, थोड़ा तो है, हाँ, बड़ा है नाम। अच्छा लग रहा है।
क्या नाम? अच्छा, बंदे का।
हुँ, हाँ, इट्स डिफरेंट एंड डिफिकल्ट टू से। व्हाट अबाउट यू? आई एम डूइंग गुड, सॉरी। आई एम डूइंग वेरी वेरी गुड। सेटिंग द
ओ,
स्टेज, आई
दिस
थिंक
इज
ये
द।
लास्ट था।
हाँ
लास्ट में हम लोग ने बहुत कुछ किया है।
हाँ, लास्ट वाले में बहुत सारे किए थे।
नहीं, इज़ इट लास्ट वाला?
दिस वन, हाँ, एटिक इज द फिनिशर।
ये ग्रैंड फिनाले है ना?
हाँ, यू हैव टू गो
वेट,
लेफ्ट,
2 बचा है,
पूरा
ओके।
लेफ्ट करना हो चैप्टर को। नहीं नहीं, तो नहीं।
हुँ, हुँ, हुँ। इसको
हाँ, ये को लेफ्ट। हाँ, यस, दिस इज द फर्स्ट
ओ
स्टेज।
हाँ, मैं भी क्या द शेड, द
ओ माय,
ट्री,
लुक एट हाउ मेनी मिस
हाँ ना?
रोजेस। रोजेस रूम में ही सारा कुछ
बहुत
मिस
कुछ था।
कर।
एक्चुअली द स्टोरी बिल्ट अप वाज़
हाँ,
टू
like
बिग।
we got involved into the game a lot.
यहाँ कुछ ज़्यादा जल्दी नेम रिवील कर दिया। अरे! सो व्हाट, चलता है। अच्छा है ना? फेस कैम आएगा आएगा। थोड़ा टाइम और दो, जल्दी आएगा।
9 words, क्या बात
आईक्यू ने सब्सक्राइब किया कि नहीं सारे अकाउंट से?
है का तभी क्या है शायद।
तो नहीं दिखेगा। इसको एटिक क्यों नाम दिया है? Now that we have played so many horror games, I don't like this name. है ना?
Oh my, there are two
वो क्लॉक
2 o'clock में 2 मिस हो गए।
दो ही है।
हाँ,
सी
पहले वाले में 1 मिस किया।
ये ना।
हाँ।
Should we do a
या
join?
ओह सॉरी। या
एक से नहीं स्टार्ट होता। क्या खेल रहे हो? अभी तो मैं ऐसे ही टाइम पास मिनी गेम्स खेल रही हूँ। इट टेक्स टू का।
years to
इस
कोडी।
बार कोडी पहले से तुम
ओह
पार्टी चेंज कर रहे हो यार। ठीक है ठीक है, देखते हैं अभी। अभी देखते हैं, टीम कोडी हो ना तुम? ठीक है ठीक है, अभी देखती हूँ मैं टीम
ओ
कोडी
स्किप
वाले।
होगा शायद ये।
should I click something? Should I try?
हाँ हाँ,
Wait.
because you are
हम्म,
hosting right, तो
हुआ skip? नहीं।
शायद।
ओ
Wait, what? I forgot the controls.
you are out.
Coming.
ओके, देख रहे हो कोडी को याद भी नहीं आ रहा। और करो टीम कोडी।
Oh, this one's that, huh? Dash,
मैं वो
jump,
देख रही हूँ अच्छे
jump,
से, सो
dash.
दैट वी डोंट मिस समथिंग। हाँ,
अच्छा। Oh.
यहाँ पे तो कुछ नहीं है ना?
नहीं नहीं,
आई थिंक
नहीं नहीं,
दिस इज जस्ट अ
that's
पाथ।
yep. ओई गया, मैं गया।
अरे होल्ड इट ना। ओके, देख रहे हो कोडी को?
अरे फिर फंस गया।
ओहो,
आ रहा।
गेम साउंड नहीं आ रहा है। ओह वेट, व्हाट?
गेम
ओह,
ऑडियो, check check.
लेट मी चेक।
Even I couldn't hear. Like I
अभी आ
think
रहा है।
कुछ तो हुआ होगा।
ओके, वन सेकेंड।
अभी आ रहा है मुझे। हाँ हाँ हाँ, आई कैन हियर।
Hey, over here!
यस आ गया। परफेक्ट। या अभी ऑडिबल है गेम साउंड।
आई होप, क्योंकि अभी कुछ किया नहीं तो शायद सुनाई नहीं देगा। ओ सॉरी।
इधर हो सकता है डाउट।
Look,
हम्म,
it's Rose! Rose!
क्योंकि रोज का रूम था ना उसका नाम।
यस।
She can't hear us!
Can't hear us.
Oh no. How are we gonna get over there now? I can help. What? Who's
So
that?
yeah, like this game is an example of what podcast we actually wanted to
I know the way.
think about things. This game is a good
I'll take you
example.
there if you help me save my friends. Huh?
या
My tool friends. We used to be important and taken care of, but that human locked us up in her toolbox and left.
You mean May's toolbox?
Yes, yes! That heartless woman. Do you know her?
Well,
No, he doesn't. Anyway, I heard that
Hey,
heartless
what's up,
woman got a new
Ashish?
job in town and doesn't have time for our hobbies anymore.
Who
Hi
cares
Ashish,
about
welcome,
hobbies?
welcome.
You know how painful it is to die from rust? It's like burning alive, slowly.
But look, Hammer, there's some rust remover spray in that cabinet. We can help save your friends, but only if you can get us to Rose over there.
Okay, it's a deal.
So even this game has a good
Now
concept.
go to that big door over there.
Like
Pull that
the
nail out.
the kid is trying to get her parents together.
whoa! Where'd it go?
Just whistle.
What? Really?
Yes, Marcel.
Oh, we got a flying nail and a talking hammer.
He's like, okay, already things are in like dreamy.
Be careful
Okay.
with that nail, Cody. I don't want it in my eye.
Are
Okay, well, don't drop it.
Oh, we are already here with this one. I was thinking hammer नहीं है. Shit.
Last time you
और आ भी गया hammer
smashed
का.
your own thumb.
Yeah, well, okay, I did. But I'm in charge of the nail.
Okay, okay. Just be careful.
Hey!
अरे रू 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 रू.
This is so satisfying!
Yes. It is.
आई गया बस. Like अरे. या.
इस तरह आज का दिन बहुत अच्छा था. बहुत ही अच्छा. You keep going, huh? I'll try to. Oh, you're so fast.
अरे
May, do I look like a nail to you? When
अभी बोलना.
you hit the nail on the
अरे
head.
second time. अरे ऋषि बाबा यार ऋषि बाबा.
First attempt में. क्या? Hello ऋषि. कैसे हो? Okay, come. No, no, no. No, stop, stop. थक गया वो. Oh my god.
Look at
Look. अच्छा.
यहाँ पे क्या कर रहा था? I don't remember.
I don't know. I think this
अच्छा
is
नीचे
like a
उतरना.
boss
You
fight.
no. You have to jump and go hit this thing. See on your left.
Left.
हाँ लेफ्ट नीचे कूदना है. जंप. हाँ वैसे ही चलते रहना उस प्लेटफॉर्म पे एंड हिट द थिंग ऑन योर राइट. आगे चल के. हाँ दैट वन. यप. Got it. Go.
Ah. एक
वाह.
सुर लग गया यहाँ पे. म्यूजिकली चल रहा है.
बुक को बुलाना
Maybe
पड़ा.
we can swing off that nail.
Oh you can.
Oh,
और
I still feel that, you know.
What?
हो गया.
Steady now. Sweet moves. I like your style, May.
Oh, thanks.
Oh,
Shit.
ये cool moves कहाँ गए? कुड़ी के.
Oh you have to swing again.
Oh yeah.
3, 2.
Yay.
Oh, nice. That's the other one. I
Yeah.
can't see it.
नहीं अभी आगे आएगा. Wait. Find Cody.
Oh नहीं. हाँ, jump. Straight on your right. हाँ, वहाँ पे जा. Oh wait. हाँ, I have to.
You have to do it.
That. Yes. Ooh.
There's another nail. Let's go get it.
Yoo-hoo! Still over here. Hello? The bridge, please.
Oh sorry. You should do that. I guess.
Sweet. More
more ammunition.
वो बुला के बता रहा ये ब्लिट्ज को पीक करना जरा.
Nice. Hey, cut with that. यहाँ पे remember you actually survived in this.
हाँ हाँ याद है. इसके बाद ही होगा. Wait, do it. Now we can do it faster.
Ah, yes. Got it. Go. Oh my.
मैं slip हो गई.
Don't climb on the platform. You can directly double jump, I guess.
Dash मार दिया मैंने सीधा.
अरे रे.
Easy है. ओ मैंने पकड़ लिया.
Oh,
I'm back. Look.
yeah. That was quite an adventure.
Oh मैं
Oh, shit.
वापस आके गिर गई अंदर.
अरे रे.
Now. Too fast, huh? She's too
तो
fast.
जरा
मेरा speed for speed हो रहा है इधर.
हाँ अभी सही है. Yes. आई
अरे
मेरे को फेल. वो इधर आता होगा अभी. आई थिंक
सब कुछ फेल दिया मैंने.
yes, the mini game might be here.
Okay.
There are no relationships without challenges.
Oh.
Challenges make
स्टोरीज नहीं चल रही क्या? चल रही थी. यस यस आई थॉट मिनी गेम्स पे हो जाएगा साथ में. तो गेम चालू कर दिया मैंने.
learn something new. So remember,
Because we are actually talking about the
follow it, keep
late
following
books.
it, and you will find the challenge you seek. Yeah.
Oh, this is one
Do
mini
your
game.
first.
हाँ ये हम लोग ने किया था. इसके आगे वाला नहीं किया है.
Ah,
You must do
Cool.
it.
We have to keep an eye.
yes.
करना है ये.
We're gonna have to.
Yeah, I think we should be progressing with the game.
For this.
Oh, you afraid of losing?
Me? Huh, no way. Bring it on.
Oh wow.
No way.
Guitar.
Hello book of love.
Hey May, come here.
No, नहीं आना मेरे को.
Three,
अब
two,
भी
one.
देखना.
1, 2, 3, and bam. Oh, you funny. अरे.
No props.
What?
Peekaboo.
अरे.
Alrighty.
Oh, he's
What?
talking. No.
अरे. अरे.
Ooh.
1 point से सीन हो गया. What? Okay.
Yay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh boy, something happened.
नहीं घूमते रहता ना.
Ah.
Ah, the sweet sounds of machinery. There's nothing better.
Okay. यहाँ पे जाना है.
Ah, yes.
Oh yeah, I remember this. इधर से जाना है.
Oh. Yep. Oh, you have to use the things on the.
हाँ, wait. I can go up.
Hold on tight.
Nice. एंगल नहीं बना मेरा. सॉरी. मैं यहाँ पे आ रही हूँ. ओके.
Nice.
हाँ कैसे कर रहा है? मैं हूँ।
Oh,
I think I
yeah.
have to
There's
do
a machine
something.
in the way here, Cody.
Yep.
Oh नहीं हो रहा है. So you
Yeah.
have to come here I guess. Oh ये
Um,
glitch हुआ था. Oh my god. ये glitch हुआ था.
अच्छा sorry. Wait. हाँ, do it. Nice. Got
Look
up.
at him fly!
Yep. Got it.
How
I
do
am
I?
coming. I'm here.
Hmm.
Yes. It it looks so easy now. It's
बना. तुम फटफट हो. Oh my god, you remember this?
oh, this one. This one's.
A
Uh,
troublemaker.
oh, this is a mini game. I think. Come this way. Yes, this is a mini game.
Oh
We
ये
found it.
मिस हुआ था.
Yeah. Oh, careful, careful. This way.
मिल गया.
What the heck is that thing?
Looks like there's a switch for Hammer
ओ
in.
मैंने ये नहीं बोला. मैं नहीं करने वाली ऐसा. Yes, I remember.
Arey,
तो मुझे ऊपर रहना है.
I think you have to hit it with the hammer. I think.
Oh हाँ, you can't do this, right?
Oh, the center part. Flip the switch. Oh, okay.
नहीं ये करना है तो. ओ हाँ, कुछ तो हुआ अभी.
क्या करना है? Shoot at the target to score.
X to dash or T hammer.
अच्छा.
My nails are better than your hand.
Oh, you are going to hit me? Hello?
No.
Bullseye!
अच्छा, you should hit the things. ये
Hit what?
इनको. हाँ, इनको मारना है.
अच्छा,
हाँ.
ओ.
We both have to score.
हाँ मुझे नहीं मारना है. ओ, ओके समझा मुझे.
Yeah.
But the camera, oh, how can I see the? Oh, I'm not looking at my own camera. Wow. मैं उधर देख रही हूँ. मुझे दिख ही नहीं रहा. ऐसे हो रहा है.
ओए, सारे स्कैम हो गए. Oh.
I got this!
Oh, I took that.
Nice going, Hammer.
Pure luck.
Oh my, nice. This one's very good.
Easy था ये.
Yeah,
हाँ. Come.
this one was actually decent.
So should we go back to the chapters now that we have done
I
this?
think yes.
Okay.
Chapters. हो गया.
See. Now we have to.
Check the next one. इसमें भी हो चुका.
Nice.
Oh, spaced
ये
out.
वाले में दो रह गया.
Oh, this one's dead. Okay.
Which one?
स्टोरीज कोई नहीं सुना रहा है.
होगा.
हो रहा है यार. थोड़ा ये जरा माइंड रिफ्रेश हो जाएगा तो स्टोरीज आएंगे. बहुत कुछ है. आज का पॉडकास्ट बहुत खतरनाक है. Don't
We
worry.
talk in between. ऐसा कर सकते हैं.
हाँ, अभी we
So
can
that we
pause. We found one, right?
I think we can defeat. Oh. अभी सही बोला मुकेश. अभी सही बोला एकदम.
Yeah, it's quite tough. So tough.
Okay. Should I change the screen or keep it? You guys tell.
I think
ऐसे
we.
बीच में.
I think it's good we switch to the screen and then.
Come back ऐसा.
हाँ.
ये फटफट हो रहा है ना मिनी गेम्स. मुझे नहीं लगा था ऐसा फट से हो जाएगा.
Yeah, it's actually quite. It's
Okay.
Testing.
पार्टी चेंज नहीं करना. सोच लो. देख लो. अभी भी टाइम है तुम्हारे पास. You can do it. अरे
So yeah,
See, I'm
today's.
not saying anything. Huh? Even Vishal, like Cody himself agrees to it. I'm not saying anything.
I mean, quite thing.
Yes. On today's podcast, we were talking about labeling. Basically, what happens, and in general terms, if I say, or say, if I'm talking about some person, I do not keep that impressions of his behavior as it's like making it an image to him, जिसकी वजह से labeling हो जाता है, and labels is basically you make that person's behavior or some traits as a category. Though maybe sometimes you take it in a because it's not bad. I'm saying it's just like sometimes you should have like you should know how people behave, how behavior is and all, to know someone, understand and why and what he is saying. So that is good part. But when you label it, it's actually more different than what you take it for understanding it. Was it was it confusing?
No, no, no. It's actually right. Like what you said is actually correct. Because
Mm-hmm.
it's basically saying, see, we as a person, if we meet someone, we should forget what happened in the past. That is the main thing. Like if we are trying to be around people, we just have to we should not create a frame around us thinking this is how the person has to behave with me. You just have to keep keep things on a good page. Just if you respect the person, the other person's going to respect you the same way. That is how things have to be. You just can't keep things in a frame. Like we should not create a frame around us thinking this is good, this is bad. There's actually nothing good or bad. The things that we frame and make box some things saying this is bad, that is good. That is where things actually get quite confusing. Like it's
That's very true.
like we should not
Um,
do do anything as if it's like we should not
that can
do things in a boxed
be
manner.
concerning. Yeah, yeah.
It should be like an open conversation and be open to things. Once we start a respectful way of talking to a person, the other person's going to respond to us in the same way.
Exactly.
So basically, we have to have that manners of talking when we meet someone new, whether it's on a live stream, real time, anywhere. Person should not frame things and make the person act according to the person who thinks this is how things have to be. You should never decide things basically, because we it's basically you just have to keep things on a good. It's just that one sec, I am checking something. You
बहुत
please.
मीनिंग बाकी है अच्छा अच्छा क्योंकि इस why
No, no, you uh, take hold of the podcast. I'll be right back.
yeah the thing should be decided on the basis of the situation. Very true, very true. मैं आपको एक मैसेज करता हूँ तो क्या लोचा है बताओ. हम्म. Okay, then things goes good way. हाँ, like I think there's a lot of people uh, who think there's always a plan and it will go as the plan is. You should have a plan, but I don't suggest to stick to it unless everything is going its way, because sometimes you have to just float your boat, because you can get the best out of what the situation is. It means basically you are not like, even I don't know, it's like a personal thing for me. I think everyone has a different level of understanding, but then मैंने I don't like to do this boxing kind of thing or categorizing friends, or even I know that there is always someone who will have different bond to you with you than the other person as an individual. So if you make some like frame some words or make that person particularly, you know, like he's this or he's that, will make it a situation where you'll box it. Like you'll stop thinking about that, if you know what I'm saying. For example, if I say someone is a best friend, just an example, then that person will start thinking. You never know what that person has in his head, right? Once you say it, you know what he thinks. But sometimes they don't, like most of the times. And then there's always this thinking in his head, if he is not thinking that he was one, and then he'll start thinking he's the best. And he'll start expecting, which will in future may create lot of problems arising due to anything, like any occasion can make it worse. Like any small fight can bring up that things that he did not say at that specific moment. So I would suggest label is not that good. Just to know things, yeah, you can categorize. It's not that you don't you should not or something. But yeah, just don't label things like how they say you should be this. Some of them, like I should go deep, and now that we have already talked about a lot of things, I think I've heard a few things जिसमें लोगों को out of their personalities they categorized 16 types of personalities found in like psychologists have their own statistics saying that this is the categories 16 categories of personalities, but I don't feel that is correct, and nor it should be that way. Because like For a person who is not that type of person, will start thinking he is. If he, you know, goes to the statistics and start thinking, अरे ये तो same है, I just feel it's same. तो शायद, but then there might be a mix of personalities. हाँ, ज़्यादा जल्दी decision से भी things go wrong. It should be perfect timing. It should not be too late, too early. हाँ, it should be quick, not too. I mean, I should not say quick. It should be correct timing. जल्दी और लेट दोनों भी अच्छा नहीं होता. In this, every person has some speciality. हाँ, that is why I said every person is different. The individual is
Sorry to
different in
interrupt.
this.
I just got back.
Oh yeah, welcome back. We can't ignore. Huh, you can't. Yeah, you can't.
वैसा
Correct.
नहीं है. See, there is there is nothing good or bad. It's just what we make up to be.
Correct.
What?
Thinking that way is kind of labeling things.
Ah,
Like
that,
people think this is wrong because you have a different thinking. You
yeah,
might have a different normal routine. Normal for you is different. For me is different. So, it can be not same.
yeah.
Can't label it. Let the other person be the way they are. If you don't like it, just don't talk to that person. Simple. We can't ignore, then don't talk to that person.
वैसा
Like
नहीं
in
है.
football, you want to play forward and your teammates side you play goalkeeper. Uh Situation is different. Like ऐसे में जहाँ पे you have to choose between, I think mutual understanding होगा. और अगर पता है some things that you can do better and the other person can do better, ये दोनों को अगर अच्छे से पता होगा, then this question would never like come to someone like should I take the place or you should take the place, ऐसा.
Yeah, actually, yes. But then
क्योंकि पता होता है.
वही है ना. There are things where people frame things as if this is good, this is bad, this is good for me, this is bad for me. Everything is good when you start absorbing good from what you see and from what you learn. Everything's going to actually become good. I mean, the more good you think, the more good mentality you have, everything around you is going to be good automatically.
Hmm.
So that is how it has to be. Like we just can't think, acha, this person is like this. Yeah, like they might behave in a different way, like they might behave in a they might have some vulgar behavior. But then yeah, like such people we have to teach them. You should you should address someone in a particular way. Like say if there's a real time situation, what I would say is I would address the other person आप करके बोलता मैं. तू तुम ऐसा कुछ नहीं बोलता मैं. I never say it to anyone.
Mhm.
It's
That's true.
basically the way you behave is how it's going to reflect. That is how we have to behave ourselves. Like once we start behaving ourselves among others, everything's going to look better. You should like we should learn how to respect. We should learn how to respectfully speak, which is more important. That is where things get better. Doesn't matter if it's a stranger or if someone, if even if it's someone you know from decades or from your childhood. Once you address them with that way of respect in your speech, it's going to transform everything right there. It's
Mm.
quite something. Like I've done it. Like I
It takes time also. Sometimes I feel like people think it will just develop in a day. It's
yeah,
not going to develop in a day. You might
it's
feel it's very
it's
hard, or
not
you might struggle. You might feel like, oh, nahi, ye nahi
no,
ho raha
see,
hai, the way I thought.
everything is a learning process.
Yeah,
Even
exactly.
we what I am talking and what you are saying, we did not learn it just that Sundays afternoon and just come here and sit and talk all this. This is
Very true.
basically
Hey,
ages.
Millie, welcome.
We have learned things from ages. The very little we grasped and very little things that we could put it into ourselves is what we reflect to others. It
Very
actually,
true. The tone also depends. Like Tanish ने जो लिखा है, it is a good point. I would say tone tells you a lot of things, but I think sometimes, yeah, I said, it's all because how you are saying it, you will get the reaction. So sometimes if you are rude to someone, you might get the same reaction, like the reply. For for the example you gave, like not respecting and saying things like to and all that straight up, that comes when you know that person from a long time, and then person is also doing that to you, and you have that already, like the you get that understanding, and you know there's already hair. So I think that is something which comes very like after some time, like you will understand. It's not something that I can tell कि 2 महीने में हो जाएगा, you can do this. ऐसा नहीं है. You just have to know it. हाँ, I can't tell.
see,
Sometimes it might take a day, sometimes it might take a full year. More than that, I don't
no,
know.
I'm not saying that you should listen to this and transform yourself and should change your way of talking, you should change your personality, behavior. It's not that, it's basically if you do whatever you do reflects that is how life is. Whatever you have inside your head, just think, recess, and then speak out. Because whatever you say, it doesn't mean anything to the person opposite to you. Because once you start thinking, should I be saying something in a rude way? Should I be saying something in a good way? That doesn't matter. You just have to be what you are, which is more important. Because once we start faking emotions, the other person will actually behave in a different manner. So basically, what happens is never fake your emotions. Be what you are, speak what you would like, and behave. These are the things which are most important. If doesn't matter if it's a person online, like it's virtual communication, it's real time communication, whatever there is, we should not
And
fear
I
about
also
things.
think we should focus on one thing, that is like you said, you should say in a way it doesn't come in a day, right?
Ah,
So yeah, like for example, some person who like he thinks he should be good, but because of the peer pressure around, that person cannot become that he wants to be, and then makes it more difficult. Like
ah,
nowadays, you know
at
how it is.
at times like that, basically, see, I'll tell you that is actually a good thing. Basically, that situation comes in when people are the person's parents. If they they don't have the modern understanding of things, it's the child's responsibility to give little information, like this is how the outside things are, this is how communication is happening, this is what is going on. Like some people still in India, people, they think if a female talks to a male, it's like a big drama.
That's very true.
It becomes a big
I
drama.
know.
I don't care. I don't care. I
And
have
then
I have
people
spoken.
lose. I think there's also one more thing that I want to throw light is if someone thinks like that, it doesn't mean that person is wrong. That is also something I've seen. Like people don't
नहीं
like
नहीं
such
नहीं
people
समझा
who
क्या.
are like, for example,
हाँ.
like some people who don't like such people,
अच्छा.
like don't understand because understanding is important. You should understand what type of person
हाँ.
he is, why
No, no.
he is like that.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
of some reason, right?
Hmm.
He might be not doing it purposely, obviously. So I'm not saying that you should like blindly say that this an innocent person. Yeah, there might be some time consuming in between time where you can share things, communicate, and make that person know that what is how is things
Yeah.
moving, evolving
Hmm.
around.
Yeah.
So yeah, like that is how it should be done.
I mean,
It is difficult at times.
it it is. It's not like a miracle coming true. It's basically we have to adapt to such an attitude, such a behavior every day, not every day. Like every time you recollect something, acha, this is what happened. This is how the person behaves with me. This is how I have to be. It should come from inside you. No one's going to teach you this is how you have to be, basically.
I'm saying I feel like there's a lot of people who think I don't know if everyone thinks the same, but everyone has their own thinking, their own perspectives, concepts in their head, set that labels that are there because of which they don't think in a way that they should. What is like real time going on?
Yeah,
Because they think everything what they see is the reflection, and it is going to be that way.
yeah, yeah. That is what the perception of looking at things has to change. People's perception of looking into things has to actually change because you should not decide what the other person should behave with you. Like the other person's going to behave how he was built. Like all the years he grew up, the
That's
environment he was in or she was in, they will definitely reflect through that.
yeah, it's
We,
mostly like the origin where that person is coming from types.
yeah,
You
that is
can't.
basically we we should not frame things, which is more important. Even if there's a situation that I was talking earlier about, like in the household, people think like shouldn't be talking to a person.
Yeah,
You should be talking to the same gender. Shouldn't be
like
talking to
it's
a
not
different.
just about gender. I've also heard some people talking about caste in that way, which was
That is a whole other BS. It's like it's the like लोगों के दिमाग में it's filled like कचरा. It's like garbage. We can't do anything about that type of people. All we can do is we just have to teach them the little things that is actually going on. There's no such thing. See, they might say caste is this, that. What is caste? Tell me that. There's nothing. You just do things that you feel like doing. Do it. Want to do something? Do it. Finish. Why should you like say, Acha, this is
we
a
have
person you
evolved
have to
so
talk.
much. Yeah, like now we have evolved so much. Like technology's gone to skies. The sky is limit. Like everything we see is like evolving around us. And now at this time, I think I can say that human is capable of doing everything and whatever he want to,
Yeah,
unless he has the will.
yeah. Will is a very strong word because a person's willing to sacrifice his time, his things. He's giving so much. There's a meaning to it. It's simply not just happening because it has to happen. It doesn't mean anything. There is there is a purpose of doing things. No one's going to do anything just for the sake of doing. There's always something attached to it. There's always like I said it in a previous podcast. When you find a gem in a person, it's basically like a diamond that you find out of all the trash that we see every day. So yeah, you just have to keep it close, be with it. You have to just keep things on that level where both the people have that understanding of yes, you are doing good. I appreciate it. Appreciating something is the most important part of it. Doesn't matter if it's just a simple thing, like say if it's what we call someone suggested something and you felt it was quite good. You just have to appreciate. Saying thank you is fine, but then appreciating the person will increase that good trust in that mutual understanding perspective of things. It's basically what we call it's like a good maturity of things. नहीं नहीं तनिष अभी नहीं वही है see basically it's like we should hold on to things which are good, keep it close, never let it go, keep appreciating, keep things on the best possible page, and just have to build build it even to make it even better. You just have to keep it keep things moving on a better side. Basically, the topic that I said earlier about यहाँ के household का situation. It's basically we have to tell the people who think this is wrong. It's not wrong. It's basically you are communicating with a person. There's an objective. There's something. There's a purpose of what you are doing. You are just not sitting there doing some random stuff. You're grasping knowledge. You're giving knowledge. It's give and take in anything that you do. So we need to explain it to them. This is how the world is right now. There's no difference between a male and a female. They both are equal. So don't keep your head into differentiating. You shouldn't be talking to a person, shouldn't be doing this when there's a person talking to you, this and that. We just have to keep explaining them what is what because they don't understand. They have an understanding which is 2 or 3 decades ago. Back then there was nothing. It was just खाओ पियो enjoy करो बस यही था. Now it's completely different. Now life is so different.
Then also like you said was very true. Now people are trying to understand, and I think more of this kind of like content is there out there. People are trying to understand new things, how things are
Yeah,
going
but
around.
then they are just speaking it out. They are not implementing it. This is the
That's
problem.
very true.
They
That's
just say
so
things. They just say, even I say things, but then I do.
true.
When I do it, I say it twice, thrice, 100 times. I will say it because I do it. वहाँ पे क्या होता है? People say, अच्छा हाँ, see, this is what my situation at home is. I cannot do this at this particular time. This is what this is this is that. Doesn't matter. When you are a grown up, you have to you have your own set of things to do, right? So pe- people around you, you should explain it to them, saying this is how things are, this is what is happening, this is how engagement is in the current
That's true.
modern times. This is how things are. They might not understand in one day, they might not understand in a month, might take a year, might take 2 years, 3 years, doesn't matter. The main point here is you have to keep trying. You just cannot speak something and not do it, which is very wrong. You just,
It's just hard. Like I'm not saying it will be not hard. You just have to
everything is
try it.
tough. Everything,
Yeah.
every situation in life is tough. It's actually tough. Even I saying some things, it's very tough to speak out. It's not easy. I'm
Like you
not just
said
making up
right
things.
now, I literally was thinking what what I am trying, and I'm trying very like it's not that you all guys are just
Stop,
doing it
Sammy.
and trying. Like I think, hey Sammy, welcome. How are you doing? वैसे होता है like I've seen a lot of people they think that trying is not an option if it's not giving me output. So that's something I think it's
See, there's a
someone
there's a
who
good
knows to
that
like change yourself. He might try like
see,
genuinely want to do it.
basically I'll say about people.
Mhm.
आजकल लोग कैसे हो? They only
Fast चाहिए.
they
Of course.
only they only want output out of something. If you speak something, you should be seeing it on your screens. ऐसा हो गया.
Very
People
true.
people want instant output. Like they don't want like they don't want to absorb things. They just want it instant. Fast food कैसा हो गया? वैसा हो गया लोगों का दिमाग. Like anything you do, you need something out of it. It's like a business. Like even if you give an idea, you just keep thinking, अच्छा, what will I make out of it? Why did I even say it? क्यों बोल दिया मैंने? क्यों कर दिया ये? क्या मिलेगा अब? कैसे होगा? सबको बता दिया. ये सब. The business mind of things has grown so much. कैसा हो गया? It's like there's no giving at all. Like in the modern time,
Yeah.
there's no giving at all. Like a person's spending time on something, the way he thinks is more important. And the
I've
person,
seen the giving part. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting, but the giving part you said is always there. I've seen some of the old people like who had their like mostly who's good Jews who have their own businesses. They used to do this. I don't know if someone might relate. They used to do this. अगर हम लोग को बिजनेस से प्रॉफिट मिल रहा है ना वी आर टेकिंग लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स ऐसे हम बोलते हैं ना वी आर डूइंग थिंग्स दैट आर might be wrong. You don't know what wrong you do unintentionally sometimes. So they do what is they give back to the universe, like feeding some like pets, animals, ऐसा. So that
See,
is
those type of people are still existing. I am not saying such people have become something different. They are still existing, but then the majority, it's talking about the majority of people and their behavior. It's always something that you want out of something. Why why do we need something? We are doing something, we are speaking something good. Accept the fact that you just put an R into something, keep your head straight, it's going to come to you. If you did good, it's going to come back to you. Doesn't matter in what way it's going to come back. Will and it should come back to you. There's
yeah,
it is a
very true.
guarantee. You
That's
just
so true.
you just don't have to set goals. मतलब ये किया तो मैंने ये चाहिए.
तो इंस्टाग्राम पे वो सेट गोल का एकदम फेमस हो गया ना ट्रेंड. कुछ भी करो सेट गोल, डू दिस,
हाँ,
हैशटैग करके जो भी रखना है नाम उसका आगे गोल से लगा दो, खत्म.
वही है.
ट्रेंडिंग.
It's basically, see, don't decide on things. Let things happen the way it is happening. You just have to observe things. See, some people might just Google certain things and they come talk to you, think, and you might think, oh, this guy is very intelligent. He knows a lot of things. That's not actually something. You can do the same thing. Only thing is, you might be busy doing something else at that point of time, not knowing this is what is more important. But then the other person comes to you and speaks, "Arey, this is what I know. This is how what you have to do." Knowledge is good. Then the way you give things is more important. Doesn't matter if you know a billion things, like you know a lot of things about computers, or you know a lot of things about some particular subject or something. You give something, just keep that expectation. Waiting is the most important part of life. Nothing comes instantly. Anything that you do, give and wait for something. Waiting is the most important part.
Waiting is like a universal word to
Yeah,
everything. Like
yeah,
you
it's
have to wait for something
see,
to get something.
anything you want. Just an example, like a live example.
Mm-hmm.
Like back then, when streaming situation started,
Mm-hmm.
everything was like all basic stuff, things, this, that. But then, as time passed by, like things progressed. What happened was people started relating to different things. अच्छा ये बंदे के पास डुअल पीसी सेटअप है, तेरे पास क्यों नहीं? अरे उसके पास
Yeah,
पैसा है, वो कुछ भी करेगा, मेरे पास रहना चाहिए. I'm working hard for it. I can't say everything out loud, right? You just have to
very true.
understand and work with the person. You just cannot come sit here and say, why are you not doing this? Just try to understand. When when a person has done something for a period of time, he knows what those things value to the person. The other people watching, looking at things, they they might have a different perspective, but he's not going to that person's not going to tell you everything. This is what's going on in the. There are plenty many things. There are a million things happening around us. All you
Yeah,
have
like
to do is
some
wait.
of some of the some of the big uh personalities also don't say such things out loud, and then later on when you get to know behind the scenes some
Yeah,
other way, like when they give some
that's good.
like
That is good for them.
yeah,
Not
like
like, yeah, they might portray themselves thinking I'm from a village, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. This is what I've become. This is what I own. That's not something. It's basically what you give and you wait for the output. You just don't take things for granted. This is a very bad thing. Never take things for granted. Everything has its own pace. Everything is going to move slow and steady. You just have to wait for the right time, for the right things to happen. There's
Very
nothing
true.
more we can do. All we can do is do good, keep the expectations on the wait list, just wait and watch. Everything's going to happen. You just have to keep things on a good pace, keep things flowing with the right pace. कुछ नहीं करना है. You don't have to speed up things, you don't have to do anything. You just have to walk and wait, walk and wait. Never decide on things. Never never make a decision instant because
Like sometimes I also feel like people have this tendency to make a plan and make expectations to it. So what happens? You feel demotivated, which is very normal, natural. I'm not saying it should not happen. It will happen, but I
being
think it only happens when you keep things very fixed to it. Like plans hone chahiye. You should have some structure,
you
but
should
does not
organize, you
mean it
should
should be
organize. You should
like to
definitely
the point.
see if you have decided on doing something, you should take the responsibility of doing it in a proper way. That is more important. Just because you just had to bring in people, do something, and do some random stuff when you are busy, you should take the responsibility. Like if someone comes to a person's house, they take full responsibility of keeping things nice and good so that they don't feel nothing odd about why did they even visit. So basically that is how things have to. You just have to behave in a way, give the people importance, which is more important, and be in the situation. You have to take the responsibility of things, trying to organize a certain thing or anything. It could be a custom games room, it could be some event, it could be anything, can be anything, can be anything and everything. Taking responsibility and behaving is more important in life. Behavior is what keeps you the best among everyone. The way you behave is how you people are going to look at you. Take responsibility if you're trying to do something. Responsibility and behavior. When these two go hand in hand, everything's in a solid structure. There's no chaos, there's nothing. Full on fluid, full maza hai. It's actually right. I mean, even if we think about household stuff, like say if there's something important happening, and
It,
one
I
person,
think there is always some things that you don't like to do is accept the things, and there's some ego, there's mixed emotions coming between,
वही है
which
ना.
don't
See,
allow you to be that.
that is what the आजकल लोग क्या कैसे हो गए. They just look at some TV series, some random movie. They just want to behave. There's no point in behaving. Show it to your parents. If you have so much guts, make your parents sit beside you and show it to them. And tell me if they don't say anything. They won't say anything to you. Why?
Very
Because
true.
it is what it is right now. But then you have to teach them better ways of how modern things are working, right? They might see something as such and think, अच्छा हाँ, अरे my child is very पूरा advance हो गया, मतलब update हो गया, अंग्रेजी सीख गया ये. That is all fine, but you have to explain certain things in a way that they understand. आजकल क्या हो रहा है? It's like a different pace of things. They see, they look at it, they don't try to understand it. Why? Because their mindset is decades back. Back then there was nothing as such. આજકાल if you want to use something, child update. वही child update हो गया. Parent is going to like jump and roll and do. He's going to give a party to all his relatives.
New software update.
पूरा पूरा सीन हो जाता वहाँ पे. लेकिन वो भी सिखाना है. Have to teach what is gender, what is what. If a person's talking to a different gender and they say something, you should explain what and why. You should not fear. It is more important. If you're doing it, do it openly. You should not fear because you know you're doing something right. Why should we fear about something that we are doing? It might take some time to make them understand. This is what things are, this is how things. They might not understand, some might understand. But then the more we keep things explaining them, this is what, this is how things are. Even their way of looking at things will transform. मतलब जैसे उनको पता है का अपडेटेड वर्जन है मेरा बेटा, like my child knows something better than me. That is what they have to feel proud about. That is what we have to prove ourselves. We have to be a better version of them. They are existing, but then we have to make a difference. We have to make them, we have to update their way of thinking. We have to make things on that page where everything is actually understandable and digestible. If the topic is not digesting, no one's going to try to understand it. So you have to keep things nice and slow. You can say it one thing a day is fine. Like you can just say, see, this is whom I'm talking to. This is what is happening. It's all good. You want, you can also talk. You doubt, you can speak. See what is happening. You can be in a situation. Give them the opportunity to get involved into it. Then see how things can change. Once they
The topic is personality. Screen पे है. He did not understand, I guess.
बीच में आ गया ना.
Uh,
वही है. See, it's modern times. Some of the parents might not understand. अच्छा, my child is talking to a female. What are they talking? What is happening? You just give the phone to them, ask them to speak. They will understand what is happening. The things that you improve around you is more important, because once things around you improve, your own personality is going to transform into something good. Because
you know what happens is sometimes there's always this one question. I don't understand. But then I think there's the more understanding you get when you keep them, no, keep you in their shoes, because what happens when you are introducing someone who is not your the opposite gender? What happens? So only one thing that they think, because your child is innocent. You don't want it to get into things that you never know like what they are doing, right? You don't want them into a bad shape.
That is
That
that is the-
concern makes it more
I
things
know,
like
I
make
understand
them under हाँ like
being in
क्वेश्चंस
there.
क्यों आते हैं, क्वेश्चंस क्यों आते हैं, ऐसा लगता है
That
ना लोगों को,
that is
क्वेश्चंस
what
इसलिए आते हैं।
that is the main part, right? In this modern time, just an example, there'll be, say, some guy and a girl are just walking in a park. If there's an elderly person, what is he going to look like? How is he going to look at them? He's going to look at them as if, अरे क्या टाइम पास कर रहे हैं, क्या चल रहा है, क्या
True.
we don't know, right? We don't know. They might be getting
Yeah,
married. They might something serious
हाँ
might be between them.
like you can't imagine.
That these are
I
the little
have
things.
heard that
These are the little things. अरे
and तब
I have
मैं
seen it.
मैं खुद ऐसे बोलती थी, अरे you don't know anything,
Why do
just
you want?
don't judge and assume things.
Why do you want to get involved into someone else's life? You
More
have
than involvement, I should say, don't judge so early, or even if you do that, don't put the statement out loud saying, assuming इसका कुछ और ये है वो है, like you don't know anything, they do, वो उसके घर का देख लेगा, उनका दोनों का क्या चल रहा है देख लेगा।
वही ना. See, when even that elderly person might be having some teenager kid, or someone who is above 20s, mid 20s, early 30s, someone might be in their household, right? That person might be doing the same thing, because he won't be speaking it out loud, right? So once they start knowing something, once we involve the people around us into the matters that we are involved, not in everything, just certain things, then their way of thinking is automatically going to update. Even if
Like
they travel somewhere.
imagine if like you are walking with your own child and you see something and you talk things like that, it will eventually reflect on the child. Like
Yeah,
how it reflects on him is he'll also kind of have this similar kind of behavior. So I think both should learn at the time they are living how they should evolve is you can't stop somewhere. For example, if there's some things you are learning, like
mm,
few more things out of behavior understanding, then you might give better conditioning to the child also,
this is
which
what I'm
might not
saying.
lead to this क्योंकि
Correct.
communication ही नहीं होता है, and then people
Yeah,
think that
lack of note. See, if there's an elderly person, say it's your father or mother, you just have to speak things. You just can't keep mumbling inside you, अरे ये हो गया, ऐसे करना है, ऐसे करना. Who knows, they might have a better solution to your problem. They,
you don't think of the output, more of that I could say that जैसे ही बात करते हैं ना, like for example if I have to say something that I have no solution, I'm finding solution, if you speak up, what happens sometimes you don't always get solution but you feel good, like at
yeah,
least sometimes what happens, uh the other thing is that you yourself feel like organized in your brain so that you can process things to do it.
yes. Once the stress is relieved from your head, you can like do better things than that, right? That is how mental mental behavior is. Once there is no stress about a certain thing, we can like keep ourselves involved into something better than what the stress was about. So that is how things get involved, and they get better on its own. Like once you start speaking up, once you start saying things, it will automatically transform things, will make things better. You will start feeling better, they will start feeling better. Why? Because you just shared something you never spoke about. There's a different feeling about speaking certain things to people. That's not a joke. Once you start, once you open up and speak things, people around you are going to respect you. That is how things become. Why? Because you just said things that you had inside you. Like the more we keep store inside us, it keeps piling up and it puts on weight. Weight is not good. We just have to keep things nice and light. Like the must. The more we
Okay.
pile up things,
Hmm.
the more things get heavier and heavier. That is where
एक
things get.
केस मेरे पास भी है। अच्छा, केस मतलब क्या इधर सॉल्व करने बैठे हम लोग?
तो वही है, speak around you.
शुरू
Like
करना।
make your parents feel proud. What have you learned? They don't know what you know. They just know that you're playing games, you're doing this, you're doing that, you are doing just running around, wasting time looking at screens. They don't know what exactly you are doing. You just have to say things, you have to speak up. Once you speak up, they will have a better understanding. Yeah, this is what he is doing. They will give you that freedom of doing that thing. There won't be any interruption, which will make things even better. Once they know, this is what he's doing, this is what she is doing, fine. They will get involved. क्या ये कल आदर्श बोल रहा था, आई स्पोक विथ क्या मिली के मदर से अनचैट, that
हाँ, हाँ।
that is like something good. I mean, Minnie's mother knows how things are. It's good. They feel good about it. That is how we need to keep things.
I feel like, it's not just because of the generation gap, it's both. You know how?
Hmm.
Like, I recently understood.
That's a
It's sometimes what happens, you're always thinking that is the one who is not understanding is the other person, right?
yeah, yeah.
Like sometimes you feel, for example, गेमिंग के लिए कोई अलाउ नहीं करता है,
Hmm.
so you think it's just the parents, they are not allowing you.
Hmm.
It's not that way. Basically, it's you, because sometimes what happens, all they want is to you be like, their concern is always you be good and nothing else. So they don't restrict you because they don't want you to do it.
Yeah.
Because I've seen a lot of parents, they're so open minded. Like, I can't even be like that. Sometimes I feel, such में. Like, they have their minds so open minded. Like, they have done so much things, not thinking of what will be the next thing will come. They have to deal with it or not, how, and all that things. Nowadays, what is it? All we have to do is think of the future, which is very wrong. Like, and also like not knowing you yourself are the one who is keeping yourself in that
Hmm.
jail kind of mindset,
Yeah.
where you don't allow yourself to be the one you should. Like, the things you want to do, you should, you can. But yeah, it's like always there something in your head that you keep on blaming others for the things that you can't.
Yeah, that's actually thing everyone
New,
has
right?
to
I
understand.
know. I know
It's
it's a little difficult to understand at first, but then once you know that, you feel like, oh, that's liberation, like literally, like something new.
yeah, they are people like कल जो 20th century kids are like quite different. Even their parents are, they don't give some boundaries. This is how much you have to do. This is what you have to do. This, that, this. They don't do that. It's basically what we try to open up about things is how things will transform around us. If we don't speak up about it, it's not going to happen. Once you start talking about it will happen in one way or the other. We can't force something to happen just because we want it to happen. You just have to wait, give it some time, and keep things how the way it's happening. You just can't point out things and say this is how this has to be. ये ऐसा रहेगा तो ये अच्छा रहेगा. ये ऐसा दिखेगा तो सही दिखेगा सबको. What you think is good, everyone won't think in the same way. You just have to be a universal personality. Like you have to develop a universal personality, which is more important. You just can't say हाँ green color अच्छा है तो green ही दिखता है सब. ब्लू कलर अच्छा है तो ब्लू ही दिखता है. येलो है तो येलो ही दिखता है. Oh, that is nothing. No one's even looking at it, to be precise. You have to develop a universal personality inside you, keep things open, learn behavior, and just wait for the other person to respond, which is more important. Just by saying certain things won't happen. You just have to wait. Even if you say something to someone, it will take a certain time, like it might take a certain timeline just to see something. Ah, this is what I wanted, this is what I see. It might look different, but then appreciate what the other person has done. That is more important. Making things happy and keeping things good is what we can do, because what comes tomorrow we don't know. So basically we just have to have that good behavior and happy things happening, which is more important. The more you appreciate, the more you get. Like when you appreciate something, just just imagine what happens inside you and think about how the person you appreciated, how much happier the person feels. You just people might forget what you said today. Basically, they might forget what you said, but what you made them feel is going to be stuck to them for their entire life. They're going to say to people out loud, this is who I met. This is a wonderful person. You cannot find such a person anywhere. The the behavior that you have with that person is going to be with them for their entire life. The more the more better, the more happier things are. Basically, that is
There is
what we
also
need to.
something, but then people do not understand is they fear to communicate. There, they think that saying things might not go in the way they
Saying,
want.
saying things.
Like
See,
how people, like children who know that there's always their parents are going to say certain things. like
Hmm.
limit them to certain things,
Yeah.
which is right, obviously, but which is why they don't even say it like
Just
out
going,
loud
see.
what they feel.
No, no, no. We, I'll just give an example about us.
Mm-hmm.
There is, there is a box, right? There's a box, and people think whatever inside the box there is doesn't matter if it's dirt, some trash, or anything. If it's packed very nice, it's looking good, they are going to open it and dig inside it. Doesn't matter even if there is some dog, anything like anything. They are going to look into it. Why? Because the outside part is so good, so pretty. They think there's something precious inside. People आजकल लोग वैसे ही है ना. They just dress very well. They just do some good hairstyle. They just apply something to their faces, something this that. People actually fall for it. They don't see what's inside. They might have a fake behavior. They might fake themselves. But what do they think? Acha, this person is looking better than what the other person was. Chalo, this guy is a stamp. This is what I want. Finish. Why do you want that?
Set a benchmark to
हाँ,
their own
ऐसा
self,
करना
saying
क्यों
that
है?
ऐसा ऐसा होना चाहिए types.
You don't have to set any boundaries to things. Be open to everything. When you find something really precious, when you find a person who is very nice, very good, be in that situation. Take full responsibility. Have that appreciation. Keep it close. Keep it with you all times. That is more important because they are a certain personalities out there. They might behave nice at first, they might start behaving in a different manner. Some personalities are constant. Why? Because they respect your time. The other person respects your time. You are giving your time, you are spending your time, you are watching the live stream. You might be watching it on Wi-Fi, some might be watching it using mobile data. Why? Because they appreciate what the streamer's doing, what the person's talking about. This is the mutual understanding people need to have. They need to grow this behavior inside them. Appreciating is more important. You might not say it like if you type something in the chat, you might not say, Are, thank you for streaming. I just wanted to hear something. This is what happened to me today. I just feel better. You might say it some days, but every day it's a different feeling. That is where things fall in. Something good happens, you just have to say it out loud. This is more important. You keep it inside, it keeps piling up, it keeps putting weight inside you. Just say it. You feel something good, say it. There's no bad anywhere. Basically, what you understand is good and bad. The opposite person might be saying anything, but the way you take it, the way you absorb it is what things are. Even if the person गेम में अगर कुछ
Like
हुआ.
when you hear something, uh, the same word can be taken different in a different way. That is something
Hmm.
like
हाँ,
you
see,
might react to it differently
they,
out
there's
of
a
your perspective.
there's a difference between a joke and a humor. Why? Because people think saying this is a in a jovial way, the other person's going to laugh about it. That's not right. When you think that certain word, that certain phrase is actually pointing at someone, you should not say it. You should prohibit yourself from saying it. You should literally stop yourself from doing that. क्योंकि सामने वाला समझेगा, but then when you frame it in such a way, pointing at a certain thing or a person, it's not good behavior. You think it might be a joke, not a joke. He is a human being as you. If someone says that to you, you might laugh because you think it's funny. Not every person thinks it's funny. You just have to control certain things. What is funny, what is not, you have to think and then say it. तब क्या होता है, you'll have a better perspective of speaking. You just cannot say the same thing everywhere. You have to behave, learn that behavior, learn the good things and then say it out loud. This is more important. कोई भी चीज़ मुंह में आया बोल दिया अरे हंसो सब, ऐसा नहीं होता ना. Have to learn, behave around people. Once you start behaving, everything's going to get better. When you don't behave, when you don't actually think what is a joke and how should you phrase it, there's no point talking such a thing anywhere. Keep it inside you, laugh by yourself, which is good. Say it, but then you should not point it at something or someone. ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए कि हाँ सामने वाले को बोल दिया चलो दोनों हंसो बैठ, ऐसा नहीं होता. He's also a person, he also has feelings, he has emotions. You have to respect that. Very
हेलो
important.
आई एम, कैसे हो? ये मुझे कौन सा है? ये
ये
मैंने
क्या
नहीं
है,
देखा था.
नींजा?
है क्या ये?
नींजा का लग रहा हो कुछ.
हाँ क्या? नीचा तो नीचे आया. ओके.
हाँ,
कुछ फूल जैसा तो नहीं है?
नहीं नहीं, सन सन लग रहा हो, सनराइज. वही है, स्पीक अप अबाउट थिंग्स.
हेल्दी.
क्या चल रहा है? It's just that
ये बहुत बिजी
speak up,
बिजी है.
speak up, say things. You have to say things. When you improve your surroundings, everything's going to get better.
हेलो आदर्श, वेलकम वेलकम
Once you
वेलकम.
start,
आई एम.
once you start learning good behavior, everything's going to change. And once you start speaking up things, everyone will start understanding you. Even if you say something not in particular, they might try and understand at first. But then
ये
once you
क्लाउड्स है. ओके.
you
हाइडिंग बिहाइंड क्लाउड. आई कैन सी. आईज मुंह दिख रहा है ऐसा थोड़ा. ये कब आया? ये व्हाट्सएप पे आया है क्या? कौन सा इमोजी है ये?
पता
व्हाट्सएप. आदर्श, कैसे हो? हाउ वाज योर डे? कैसे था आई एम का दिन?
वही है, speak up to your
मेरे
parents,
बंदे को कुछ
talk.
केस बताने वाला था, चला गया क्या
Fun. अच्छा.
रील्स देखने?
रील्स में रिसर्च कर रहा लग रहा, किसी को पकड़ के लेके आ.
He said I have some case. जासूसी बेकार, पूरा जासूसी बेकार.
अच्छा, you spotted him तो.
हाँ, दिख तो रहा है. पढ़ाई and stuff, nice. I'm good. I'm also very very good.
That does what you
Oh,
guys have to speak up, say things. The more you talk,
manipulative बनेगा.
the more you talk, the more things get better around. It's basically it's high time. Like, not joking. It's such
Hmm.
a high time. We live in such a fast-paced time. Like things actually, you don't even know what's happening in seconds. It's like a big difference between 9 p.m. and 11 p.m. Back then, we just used to decide, we need to watch TV from afternoon till evening, then relax, walk around the park, come back and do this. अभी
होता
नहीं होता है
था,
अभी.
पहले डिफरेंट था। आई यूज्ड टू थिंक कभी-कभी पहले कितना आसान था, अभी इट्स सो डिफरेंट। लाइक स्कूल गोइंग किड्स these
It
days
is the
and
same.
how we were.
It is the
Like,
same.
I used to not even think of anything. Then sleeping, coming back to home, I'll sleep, eat, eat,
वही
and just that.
अभी
Study, go to play, that's it. Nowadays, people have so many options.
वही है ना. The
इतने
more,
ऑप्शन से के दिन कम पड़ जाते हैं।
see, if you give someone too many things to eat, they're not going to eat everything. They just can eat what they feel like it's good. Why?
Mm.
Because they just see it. They don't want to taste it. Why? Because they've done it earlier. That is the whole perspective we need to change about things.
Yeah, also like people don't like to, take it with the pace that it is going. Like people don't enjoy mostly. I'm saying people don't like to keep the pace the way it is if you're enjoying it. They just want to think of, am I slow, am I fast, or should I,
See,
what is the duration I should do this in? Like what? Why? ऐसे हो जाता है मुझे।
see, having a confused mind is fine. Having a confused mind is fine because if you are confused about things, that means you are actually thinking and you are trying to make things better. It's good, but then keep things on a pace, like you said. If that thing is walking with you, walk with it. You don't have to sprint just because you want to reach fast. Just walk with it, do it slow, do it nice. Everything's going to happen. If you have no confusion about things, basically that person's like a dummy. Why? Because the person thinks, अच्छा हाँ ये करने से ये हो जाएगा, चलो खत्म, ये करो खत्म करो. ऐसा नहीं होता. The more you research about things, the more confused you get. The more confused you get, the more better you become. Why? Because you keep learning things. You keep researching about that particular thing. Achha, this is how things are. This is how things have to be done. The more confusion, the better your brain function. Your mental behavior improves. Once you decide this is how much things have to be, you'll be limited to just that. You won't do the next part. अभी सोचना ये स्टेज खत्म हुआ, हो गया बस. अभी एक हफ्ता एक गेम खेलो, खत्म कर दो, खत्म हो गया. वो बीच बीच में क्या हो रहा है क्या नहीं, क्या कुछ समझने का नहीं. बस जो दिखा उसके साथ साथ चलते रहो, बस कुछ नहीं करता. When you get involved, you'll you feel that happiness inside you. Acha, you achieved something, you did something, you performed something, and you have that satisfaction inside you. You won't have that confusion of that particular thing, and you jump onto something more, something even better. That is how you have to evolve yourself. Once you get stuck to a certain thing, it's not going to help you in the long run. You want something, work for it. You do something, wait for the output. You don't get anything and everything on the spot. It takes time. It will take time. You just have to wait and wait. Waiting is your only choice. Can't do anything more than that. You might start behaving in a different way just because you did not find it, you did not get it. That's fine. Once you start controlling your emotions, you will become a better person. You have to have an emotion, but have that happy feeling inside you. Keep things good and make things better. Once your surroundings are better and happy, everything inside you is going to get better. And the people whom you talk to, they will have that happy output outside you. And even if they had something previously, something had happened, they won't feel that pressure of this is what happened. They won't have that feeling of this is what happened. I should be upset about it. I should feel stressed about it. Once they start talking to you, you have to make the difference among people. That is how things have to unfold. Basically, when a person's talking to you, he should behave in such a way that you are a priority and you have to behave in a respectful way with the person. Then that other person's going to talk about you wherever wherever the person. Once you start you have to build your personality in such a way that people talk about it in many different ways. It might be something different that you did not expect, but then that is what their point of understanding is. That is what their perception of things are. That is how you evolve basically. When you make a pattern of behavior among people, everything's going to get better. Then people are going to talk about you. Oh, this guy's personality is so good. They won't see how you physically look. The mental behavior that you develop is more important. The people might look at person's physical appearance. Acha, this guy does gym, this. Might be doing it. He might have a good mentality. Might be speaking really good. That doesn't mean, he's a better person. They might be better people than that person.
Way someone looks doesn't matter until, like, I'm not saying it's totally like
अभी
worthless.
वैसी है ना आजकल
It should
आज
have some like personalities, not just about that. Because how you look is how you feel.
नहीं नहीं
So it's not like
ऑनलाइन
just that.
सोशल सोशल मीडिया में वही वही प्रमोट हो रहा है ना.
Mm.
गुड हेयर स्टाइल, गुड पर्सनालिटी, जिम बॉडी, ये वो कपड़े खोल के वीडियो निकालता है. हाँ, उसके 50,000 लाइक होते हैं. वही चीज़ दूसरा बंदा कर रहा था, उसमें 1,000 2,000 लाइक्स आते हैं. क्यों आते हैं? द थिंग आई सेड इज what is inside people's head.
Yeah, they like start thinking,
हाँ,
ये
if the
is
person is
the
good
good.
looking, अरे ये फेमस है, ये अच्छा है, इसको फॉलो करो, अच्छा दिख रहा है ये. वो अच्छे दिखने के लिए कर रहा है कुछ. देन you have to treat everything on the same page. You have to keep things on the same page. You just can't keep something high, you can't keep something low. You just have to walk in the same direction, keep good things around you, everything's going to change. That is what we have to learn. We just have to.
Oh, CSGO खिला क्या बात है? Nice, nice. आदर्श, हाँ, pretend I'm not here. Oh, ऐसा तो नहीं है. I am. Are you here? Give us a sign.
It is how we need to build ourselves. Like we need to be the people around us, make them feel what it feels coming outside, but how modern times are. Once they start noticing certain things, they will understand. They might not say it out loud, they might behave in the same manner. But then deep inside them, they know this is how things are right now. That is what we need to bring up inside them. It is more important. once we start talking about what is what, everything's going to get better. They are certain things
Sometimes
we
I also feel like what you look at someone, you might like पहली बार तो sometimes it is more of like the first time you meet someone, you judge them on the first impressions and also like the looks and also by the behavior. But the first few days are always the ones when people try and pretend things like they behave
see,
good.
to- see,
That is what
behaving
people think that
आजकल.
is good. Like for example, on a long term,
Hmm,
like you said, you should develop something.
yeah,
Developing the personality is one thing, and doing it for the sake of is something because people tend to get confused in these things, and they might drift towards pretending easily because that is more easier and for short term it might help, but I don't think it would go for like a long term basis. It won't help because एक दिन तो it will like make you feel uncomfortable and all that stuff that you are actually will kind of show up.
yeah,
So I think developing personality is more important. It might take time. You can keep trying.
yeah. That is what
So
I'm saying. That's
yeah,
the
you
that's
can't
the
fix
more
it
important
quickly
part.
just pretending to be good.
Hmm, yeah. See, there's a thing inside every person. Like you might get it from his parents, grandparents, might be someone around him who took care of him, some guardian, someone. Might anyway, it could be anyone. But then,
Surprisingly, I'm not. I'm sorry, I'm, I'm breaking
no,
you
no.
in between. Surprisingly, I have seen some people who just change instantly, like as soon as they know that someone is uh not agreeing to what you have said it,
Hmm.
then they just the behavior is like from North Pole to South Pole. It just goes drastically different.
Yeah, yeah. That.
Is what shows it all.
हाँ, वैसे लोगों को there's a different way of handling such type of people. If one was behaving in a certain way, something happened and they are behaving in a different way, which might have a different meaning because from the start, what we have portrayed is what is like it's basically what they think that's a reflection of them. Like they might be saying things, this is good, this is what you have to do, this is what you should do. You can listen to it, but then you have to be in it, do some research, see if it's working out. Just because someone said, अच्छा हाँ, ये कॉल ऑफ ड्यूटी में ये मिशन करना है, आज आज खत्म हो जाएगा, आज कर देते हैं, चलो, ऐसा थोड़ी होता है. मतलब you, even if it's taking 6 hours, 8 hours, you have to do it no matter what. ऐसा नहीं होता है. You have to think. If someone's saying something, just think what is it, what exactly it is. अच्छा हाँ, आज वो क्या बोलते हैं अपना, क्या है वो, कुछ मिशन करना है, वो आज ख़त्म कर देते हैं कैसे भी. तो क्या है, सब जो चल रहा था सब उसको साइड में रख के बैठ के ये करो बस. वो वैसा थोड़ी चलता है सब.
Like you should like I don't know the right word, but you should do the right things at the right time. It it does not help if you just हाँ, DTX, you're very right. Yes.
अरे फुल
पहचान
डेंजर
लिया
लग रहा ना एकदम।
डीटीएक्स ने।
वही है
बताओ।
ना, see, the way we behave is what they think.
प्रोफेशनल हेडफोन्स पहनना है, देखा क्या? वो भी वायरलेस, वायरलेस
ओए
है, ओ माय
होए,
गॉड।
तरह का मतलब सीन।
नहीं नहीं, है वायर है।
That is, those are the small things, like the very little things that we do is how things are going to behave in that manner. That is what. So when there's something happening, like this is what it is. There's something in the game. This is what you have to do. Just because the other person said we have to do it, you just can't get stuck up to that and give it some importance. You should prioritize it, but then when you have different people involved into a certain thing, you should prioritize, take responsibility, and keep everyone involved. Just because that one particular person told you to do this, you just can't walk around, run around him, saying, "Acha, हाँ ये करते रहो, ये करते रहो." When there's a certain thing happening, you should be involved into everything. अभी वही चीज करते रहेंगे तो नहीं होगा ना. The other the other two people, they might not want to do, they might not be wanting to do it. Some of them are not even knowing what is happening. क्या चल रहा है वो भी पता नहीं रहता लोगों को. They're just walking around, running around, doing things. Why? Just because this guy is yelling, ये करो, इधर चलो, ये करना है, ये ऐसे करना
Yeah,
है, वैसा करना
that is
है. नहीं
something.
होता ना,
I don't
नहीं
know
होता.
why people just think that yelling something, जोर से बोला तो होगा, कुछ भी बोला वो करेगा सामने वाला।
वही, don't have that mentality. Don't give such things priority.
हो गए 2 शब्द, डीटीएक्स थोड़ा लेट आया। ऊपर जरा चैट देखना, मुकेश ने क्या-क्या लिखा था, तब पता चलेगा। प्यार वाला सेक्शन हो गया क्लियर, हो गया वो। मम्मी-पापा से बात कैसे करनी होती है शादी की, वो भी हो गया, पता है?
अरे
नहीं,
हाँ मतलब,
काइंड ऑफ।
या
वापस बोलना है क्या? व्हाट डू यू थिंक? गुड क्वेश्चन। तब तक मैं आती हूँ, टेकिंग अ शॉर्ट ब्रेक।
I think it's music time. You should play some music. बाजी oh my ना खतरनाक चीज कैसे बोल सकते हैं the star cut back so yeah it's like a very important topic for today's times quite an interesting thing gets even interesting so yeah I guess you guys are get better be a better person things have happened but then what happened what happened had happened that is long lost yeah I mean we might have made a difference in someone's life that's a good thing that did make a difference they got to be a better person than what they were Jelly Bean has some kind words to say.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
He said, I just love your guys' passion and dedication towards building a nice community. Then followed up with, hope to see more people join this amazing channel.
I hope that too, because मुझे I think मक्खन नहीं है क्या? ठीक है. No, that's actually very true. I don't know how, but Jelly Bean just knows it that what I'm trying to do here is let people know and you know दिल से उनको
Might be something good to someone. It's just because they think it's wrong doesn't mean it's wrong for everyone. So basically, we have to create a knowledge among people around us, thinking in such a way it should reflect inside them, and there should be a point in life where we don't have to explain certain things just to make them understand. Just by the person's behavior, I get to know, yeah, this is what is happening. This is how we can handle some things.
का
Yeah,
टॉपिक स्क्रीन पे है जेली बीन आज पर्सनालिटी के बारे में बातें हो रही है
so yeah, like speak up to people around you. They will try and understand what is what. They will take time. Will take time. But then the more you try, the better the things get. So yeah, like keep trying to make things good. I know there are certain situations where you just cannot agree on a certain thing. But then you have to try and understand. You should ask some time just to understand what it is and how it works, and then respond to it. You just cannot simply see, acha, are uh, this game's not that I wanted to be. This is how it's looking. चलो ये यहाँ तक खेल के बंद कर देते हैं इसको. ऐसा नहीं होता है, right? There are way many things inside something. In particular, if we are talking about game, you might find something interesting. It might have some stuff in it which you might feel it's disgusting. It might be something that might not feel good about it looking at it. But there's a there's a thing where you have to understand it's a certain way of understanding and having a perception of things is when you start thinking what the other person's trying to imply, what the other person's trying to respond, what the other person's actually trying to say. You will feel better. Like instantly we just can't say, this is not good, we shouldn't do this. ऐसा नहीं है. Once
That is where I can like say one more thing that is correlated. Like for example, some people, I don't know if you have same situations before, but what happens is some people think that you should just give them the answer or like conclude it right there and there, whatever you felt,
yeah,
which is true, you should, but sometimes you take time to
yeah,
understand how was the situation. Sometimes even when we play games, we don't understand at first.
yeah.
खेलने के बाद हम उसको वापस देखते हैं तो होता है, अरे अरे हाँ, ये ऐसे करते तो शायद ऐसे
See,
होता.
that
That is how you reflect, right?
that is what we need to understand.
But people don't understand. Some people don't,
हाँ,
and
वही
then they
ना.
draw conclusions like
क्यों
you are
बताया, क्यों
lying.
करने दिया,
That
क्यों
means you
किया
are
ऐसे.
lying. That you are not true to your feelings.
हाँ,
You should have said it first.
वही गलत
It's so
करते हैं ना
wrong.
लोग. वही तो गलत करते हैं लोग. They just jump into
That
conclusions
person
thinking.
can be how much selfish that just because that person, he or her, whoever it is, they want that uh, answer or conclusion to move on to things, to do things that they are wanting to. Like for example, if that person wants to do something and you have ruined their plans, then they come back at you saying, Ari, you should have said it already. They don't just say, okay, fine, okay. That's
Wait,
that's
अभी
it.
what Jelly Bean said is actually right. Right listening is what people are lacking right now.
Exactly. Even when I, explained, then also that person if does not understand, then it becomes worse. I feel like why this person is like, that is the point where I feel like the person is trying to manipulate me. Like saying things making me feel guilty and doubt myself. Suppressing my own self to thinking that I am wrong, which is so wrong that that person should never do this. Like, why? I don't know. At the first place, someone can do that to someone because you don't have control all over everyone or person. Like, you are not things to control it.
Yeah. There is, I mean, there's a particular way of playing at a particular moment, situation, like say something happened and it did not actually, I mean, the other person was expecting this is how the outcome should and it wasn't up to the mark, then सामने वाला भड़क जाएगा because they want instant results about anything and everything. Why? Because they think it's too easy for them to just say and speak. They just don't क्या बोलते हैं वो they don't want to try and understand what the other person is trying to actually imply and speak, and why did he even say it. They don't want to understand, they just want to jump into some decision and हाँ डिसाइड कर लेना है बस, इसने ये बोला तो इसको गाली दे दो, इसने ये बोला तो इसको ये बोल दो. ये
हाँ,
चल रहा है.
like sometimes even I feel like people don't even try to understand, you know. There's a thin line of not understanding and trying. Try भी नहीं करते बताए लोग. There's
वही तो
this
बोल रहा अभी.
just some rude mentality or something. They just don't want to.
See, if
They
there's
just think that they are so right that other person has no right to, you know, given that benefit of doubt or even try to understand it.
yeah, that's actually something that people read themselves. They have to add it in their personality. Quite something which might give them a good opportunity the outside world.
Someone is behaving too good and all of a sudden that person starts saying things, you just feel like अरे इसको क्या हो गया ऐसे हो जाता है. So sometimes I feel like you should not be so like so what do you call it, so innocent that you don't understand that person is trying to manipulate you, because that is something I have seen, like that is also something that people become prey for such person's behavior, because that person is manipulating but you manipulate yourself going into their traps. You don't have to do that. Sometimes people don't understand that you have to limit it to and say that yes, this is it. I think I cannot take this anymore, or say no instantly whatever they feel, and just say whatever they want to,
Yeah, that
and not think so much that if I
some
say something right,
situations test your tolerance levels.
yeah, like
Some,
if you just say it on the face, it might you know not be a good conversation.
yeah, see, if the person's not behaving the way they should, we have to we have to behave the way they are behaving. Only then they understand what importance you are. Because you giving time is what is more important. They have to prioritize. Just because you replied to something doesn't mean that you can take things for granted. हाँ, मैं कल मैसेज करता, कल भी रिप्लाई करना मुझे. ऐसे थोड़ी होता है. When you appreciate, when you consider a person as a priority, you will definitely get a response. There will be a positive, good response, and everything around will be better and happy. When you behave, give priority, you give importance, you appreciate, everything around you is automatically going to. It's basically like just क्या बोलते हैं वो? It's like there's an example to it, like I'm trying to collect it, but
Mm-hmm.
not really, not able to phrase it. Yeah,
You
but
can
then
say it as it like you can say it in a raw way. We might know how to phrase it.
yeah, see if the child is just looking at a balloon, need to have it. Just buy a normal balloon. Like if the person's not able to afford it, going to buy a single unit, he's going to try and do it by himself. Make the child happy. Basically, the thing we have to observe here and observe is how you respond to things. Just because the child was just wanting to have certain thing, just don't go run around and go get it. That doesn't. You are basically spoiling it. You're basically
Very true.
spoiling the behavior. You
That is
have
that
to,
is a classic example.
yeah.
Yeah.
You just have to keep things because back then we used to cry and get things, but then we did not get things on the very moment we cried about it and we got it then and
बलून का
there.
तो स्टोरी मेरे घर पे हुआ है। मैंने कितनी बार मांगा, मुझे मिला ही नहीं। तो मेरे घर पे ये स्टोरी था रियली।
Why? See, only thing we have left with us is as humans, as a person, we have to behave among us. We need to respect each other, give importance, appreciate. You see how things were from the past 2 years. We don't even know what's happening out there. And we are busy thinking, अरे ये करे तो क्या होगा, वो करे तो क्या होगा. Like,
But
we,
थोड़े से याद आया, if you want to know how the true, things, how should you behave, how should you be, is actually very good example. One movie, that is Pursuit of Happiness. उसमें legit that man has so many things going around, but still I feel so good looking at it because the small things, like there was never I felt like he had that communication where he is not communicating end to end to the child, let's say there's so much communication that even that small child was understanding things. Big thing,
actually something pretty, it's like a live example of things. Like, see, if there's a अभी DTX ने पूछा एक चीज के like he was asking to speak about a particular topic. So if we talk about that, there are different ways you love about things. You love a person, you love, it's not just what people's mind are cluttered with. Because
You know what people think when like reading that one comment, people pursue it in a different way. Their brains are having perceptions on, like, if I say what is that one thing was supposed to, might be different from what you think, because we might have different experiences, right? इसलिए so it might be, हाँ ऐसा हो सकता है, it might be the age also make the different understanding on certain things, because with time you understand few things that you don't understand before,
yeah,
practically saying, because a lot of people think that
see, if that
you just put that sweet coat on top of everything and just hide the negative things.
see,
I don't want to do that.
people अभी details ने बोला talk something about love, right? So what people want to, I mean, not in particular, but then in general, they might be thinking, they might be expecting, he's going to talk about two people and what happens and what not. But then, yeah, that is a certain situation regarding that topic. But then that word itself is so strong. I mean, it's a what we call it. It's a pure thing. Like, just can't say the word to everyone or everything that you see is good or looking better. It's it's like
Like,
a
I don't know why people make it like how you said it right now. I don't know why people just think it that way. Because you
because
love your
of
parents, you
because
love
of
your sister,
social.
your brother, your siblings, so many people, but you don't see that when this word comes up. Like, seriously, no, see, that is what I'm saying. Like, you might love so many people. Like, I'm genuinely not even joking. I am one person who was very fond of my aunt, and I used to literally, not even joking, I used to say this, and people don't understand.
They
That
don't.
is what is the purest kind of unconditional. Like, I used to not have any conditions, like,
Yeah,
to see that person.
that is
हाँ,
what.
मेरा हाथ भी फ्रैक्चर हुआ था. Not joking. It's just I used to not think of anything but that person. She literally had come visited me. So
That is
that
what.
is
It's a. It's a. It's like the purest of the things. That those four letters of a word, it has a big meaning when you see it. It's just
people
because you
don't
see
see it in
something,
a way.
just
That is
because.
the difference.
वही है ना, आजकल सोशल मीडिया ये सब देख के दिमाग सड़ गया.
Everyone is हाँ, everyone is no क्या कर रहे हैं? Everyone is fantasizing it, and they just think everything that they watch is what is real digitally.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Uh,
how they want things, they don't want to do it, but they want it. Like,
there
they
was
can't
no
implement
reality.
it. हाँ, ऐसा. It's like there is some gap. They don't understand that. And that gap is just because of their own self.
Once you distance your wall and your perception of things, everything will look good. Every little thing is going to look good and you will make things better. You have to make a distance between the wall that you created before and what is happening now. Once you make a distance from that wall, you come out of it, everything is going to cherish. Like, that's it. Going to look better.
True. Some people have heart of gold. So true. Not all
Accumulating
people.
money.
That's true. Like, some people believe in quantity over quality. Where some people are focused on more finding good people to chat around, have them around to, have help, or even, share their own feelings, true feelings, whatever they feel, exactly how it is. Then focusing on materialistic things or money for that matter.
That money, I have never been into it.
Like,
It's,
I've seen some people who are go getters, but they are equally, what do you call it? Equally, you know, respectful, loving, and all that. So there should be proper balance. I would not say the mindset should be just to, be like, Arey, I just want this, so I'll talk to this person, and once I have it, I don't need that person anymore, or such kind of behavior. It's like, uh,
Don't
it,
make a
it's a
human being as a object. Like, don't behave like the person's an object just because you
yeah,
wanted something. Just approach and bas ho gaya khatam.
yeah. At least, like for example, if you don't like someone, don't go and say that person is shitty or bad. You don't have to say that to his face. Just go. It's that simple. Like, I don't know, people don't understand. This is just an example. Like for example, some people think that being balanced is very tough, which is, but some people try. So understand that they do, and it should be good balance, because life is like that, and without money you can't buy bread and butter. See, so it's like basically goes hand in hand. You
See?
can't give one thing too much focus, so
हाँ
that it will be
वो
everything.
या
अभी इसके अलावा अभी
वो
कुछ नहीं मिला तो हम भी
नहीं
हो जाएगा हमारा.
वो सही है but then see if if there's a say if there's something happening, there's a some person has to attach to another person at certain point in life, but then what if the other person's not on the same level? You just make a difference thinking this one
I've
is not.
seen that. हाँ, एक
वो
बार ऐसे
वैसा नहीं
हुआ था.
होता ना.
Yeah, that's so true.
See
I've
when
seen some very good, love marriage था उनका तो. And they just, I don't know, for some reason it just happened to be monetary differences that led to fights.
वही
I used to think, why is that? But then that is bad. That is what I don't want. But there should be a balance. Like, not being materialistic doesn't mean that you should just focus on the non-materialistic
see
part. It is
if
like you should know finances better. You should have that good balance. It's very
it's good, see
important.
it's hard like when something as such comes up, there is, see, when two people come together, they are trying to make things better, is it? I mean, if one person's not balanced into doing things, this other person enters, the other person tries to maintain a certain level of balance. Then they both have to agree and have an understanding of how things have to work around. It's not
Yeah.
that you know better, the other person knows better. वैसा नहीं है. You have
Like,
to.
there's no competition.
Yes.
Firstly, why why you
See,
need to
if
compare, or
one
be in
person's
that.
earning 10K, the other person's earning even more. The other person might be earning 25. That doesn't mean that 10K earning person's not doing anything. He's doing what he
Exactly.
can. The person's doing what he can. But then,
Even like I've seen some people, judge a lot, who is not doing anything but handling the households, is like major thing that I've seen. People just underestimate that person so much. Like, physically how much that person is like giving out. Like, that person is just like a giver, is not asking even for appreciation, and even not getting it, because sometimes there's so much things going around.
yeah,
All are busy watching this digital world around, being busy traveling. They just don't recognize that one thing, that
yeah.
woman, or anyone for that matter, in
Anyone,
some cases,
Jalebi,
because
not in particular. See,
yeah,
there's
like,
no
because
difference.
some people
Men,
have this
women, there's no
household
difference.
things is different. Like, Chetan Bhagat also once said, he is like the he has the different kind of setup in his household because he's the one who's at home and his wife is working. So that is something you should have,
That is
because
a major
people
transformation.
should, like mentally, you should not keep that box inside the head saying that, yeah, this is right, this is wrong, this is men, this is women, this should be done, this should be not. No, this should not happen.
There's
Like,
no difference अभी आज के
until
समय
and
में.
unless there's mutual understanding to make, you know, things work. It's like a puzzle.
Yeah, see, right? See, in person, when you meet the person, it is a different experience. Might be having a virtual conversation for quite some time. But then once you meet the person in person, it's there are some true things, like not everyone opens up to everyone, basically.
True, very true.
Because some people fake their emotions among
I
some
would
people.
not say fake. There are some people they fake, but there's some people who feel that opening up to someone who is a virtual friend or not, they don't know them much. They just don't open up easily. So that is not a crime, I would say. It's like understanding your own self is a different thing for them, though it might be like different, like to make someone know that what you exactly feel and say things that it should,
Yeah,
be very confident about everything, saying things as well.
yeah.
So I would say people don't do it intentionally sometimes, so might be like
It's not an
they
intentional
open up,
behavior.
open up,
It's just
it
the
will take time.
it's just
How,
the
like, it's
past
also something
experiences.
I've seen, how someone in front of you treats you.
Hmm.
Like, for example, if that person is making you feel comfortable,
Yeah,
you might open up and
yeah,
talk easily.
yep. That
I've seen that, but then I've seen someone who was trying to, you know, get married, because when you're in love, you just meet for 2 hours and decide one day to get married, and later on when you live together 24/7, it's different. It's like Mahabharat film.
that is in
Like,
particular. Yeah, see,
sometimes it doesn't
once
happen, but I would say it depends on how person is,
it's not
because
see,
if
it's
the
not
two person who are accepting the flaws and they know that this is what I have signed up for, then and they are open minded,
see
then
at
they can
that
survive it.
particular
And
situation. What you said about two people
mhm,
getting it together. It's not about signing up for something. Just you just are dedicating the rest of your life to someone, to be with someone.
mm,
It shouldn't
yeah,
affect your surroundings. It shouldn't affect your parents. It shouldn't affect anyone else. It's
yeah, like
basically
basically you should
it's
feel good.
ah
More
it's
importantly,
they
people
might
just
they
focus on things like,
nee,
mm,
they are ups and downs. That is for sure. There'll be some good
yeah,
times, bad
like
times,
they
everything's going to
expect a perfect life that they see digitally, which
yeah.
is what people don't understand. Like, even when as a single, what do you think? You had a good life. There was ups and downs. You fall, you
Yeah.
get stitches, you get fracture, you, so many things happen. You
Yeah.
don't just focus on the bad things. That is why you think as a person, when you are individual, you are more happier,
Yeah.
which is not right, because you live in a family, you live with someone, you don't live alone, right?
Hmm.
So once when you get married, एकदम से मतलब उसको एकदम टारगेट बनाते थे कि
See,
इसके वजह से सब हो रहा.
some households are like that, but not every household is like that.
Very true.
They are people. See, if the person, if the guy or whoever in particular, if he has taken responsibility of taking the other person to his own place and living with that person for the rest of the life, he is responsible, and people around him have to be responsible and have to behave. They won't adapt to the situation then and there. It will take some time because there's a there's someone new in the house, right? So it
Okay,
will
even when you yourself go live somewhere else for a few days, or maybe you go on a rented house somewhere else, you
yeah.
also feel something, right? You just don't go and sleep on the bed and हो
Yeah.
गया अब तो मस्त है इधर सब सेट ऐसे तो नहीं होता ना. Once you go directly to a new place, so like all over the places, you want to like know how to do things, what to do things, the routine is all new.
Yes.
It's like starting up from square one. Yeah,
It does, it
like
does, it does.
even for a few days, if you visit someone, you have to do that, right?
Yeah, you have to adapt to what is happening there, that
Yeah,
place, because
it's like a
it's
whole
not
different situation. The
it's not where
bedside will be
you wake up
different.
every day, right?
Yeah,
So basically, there'll be a certain amount of differences between where you have been before and where you are right now. So the main problem comes is they,
and top of it, what happens, after that mega shift is like even when you know you are there new and all that, when you're new in the place and all
yeah,
that, what
yeah,
happens is people just like keep on asking you to do things that like for example, if I'm going on a rented place, first day itself I'll have days starting ke first 2-3 days I'll have that days where I'll have things lying around, not
hmm,
set, organized. Also, I'll keep on having a different schedule in these days. Like, schedule as in everything will not be accurate or even like on time.
yeah,
But people expect you to be the way they want because they are living there.
yeah. See, that is the point I'm trying to explain. It's basically if someone's going into a place who's going to be there for a certain amount of time, it's basically person who entered has to have a mindset, has to have a better understanding of things that this is someone, this is someone new, right? We were not among them for like years before. We were elsewhere. We just came here. It will take a certain amount of time because even when a small child is born, he's not going to recognize who's the mom and dad. He's going to take time.
Exactly.
He's going to
Even like
time.
people think that once you are there, you should know this, you should know that.
Ah,
I mean, certain things, you might get easy adapt. Luckily, sometimes you just feel comfortable.
yeah,
It might take different time duration for every individual because that individual is not a machine. It might be different for everyone. But people don't understand that also. Like they
वही
just
वही
think in a way and
अरे
they
वही
say
तो
things
बोल
like
रहा
अभी तो 6 महीने हो गए अब तक नहीं आ रहा है ये वो.
नहीं नहीं नहीं
It's just
वही तो बोल रहा ना the person who you are moving in with, he is the responsibility of you. He has to have an understanding between the person he brought in and the
and
people around
make
them.
that person feel comfortable, that person will feel so comfortable that it might feel eased into the house, that he himself might, get going and feel good to do things and,
Yeah,
be the way they want.
yes, that is actually true. Because see, when when a person's moving in with someone, you basically decided that this is what my destiny is. This is what things are. This is how things have to. Basically, then and there, you have decided a very important task in your life. Why? Because you are with another person. Being with that person, you have to take equal responsibility of what happens. It's not that the other person said something, you felt bad, and he's the responsible person. Doesn't mean. There might be consequence there. That other person might have done something. Otherwise, the other person wouldn't have responded in such a way. There is, when we have a balance of understanding things, how and why and what exactly happened, everything will actually develop and become better. That is how we have to make up our mind. Basically, it might be new, like everything feels new, but then you have decided it might be a distant location, it might be somewhere, but then basically them both being together, right? That is more important. The more understanding they develop, the more behavior they develop, the more better they make their surroundings. That is how the rest of the life is going to reflect upon them. Basically, you are carrying certain traits with you when you are at a certain place. People are trying to understand. It will take some time. We shouldn't just decide on things saying, हाँ ये सही, ये अच्छा नहीं बोला, ये ऐसा नहीं है, ऐसा नहीं होता. Because the more we try and understand, the more better we become as a person. The more calm we get. The calmness inside us will improve, and we tend to behave good. Everything around us is going to look better. Like it's going to look good. It's like that good feeling inside us. Every day we wake up, it's like, yes, this person's right beside me. I don't have to worry about anything. This is my world. Bas, finish. That is the true meaning of what DTX Gaming was asking for. You have to appreciate, doesn't matter if you are earning 20k, the other person's not doing much. Doesn't mean that he's useless. Person has dedicated, appreciate it, live with it. That is more important. We have to feel alive. Feeling alive is more important rather than picking up differences, pointing at things. Feeling alive is more important. When you feel this is what I have, this is what this person's doing, get involved, be with it. You won't get the same thing twice. This is how the world functions. You don't get the same thing everywhere. When there's a certain person with a certain traits of behaviors, should stick to it, because it's like 1 in a million kind of thing. It's like there might be certain differences between things, and there'll be a lot of things, but then the more cherishing way at life, looking at life, is basically us considering certain good qualities, and the more calm we are around that person and which is helping, you should just forget everything else, stick to that, forget everything, like blank out everything around it. That is what is more important, because that person's involvement had given you such a big boost to everything inside you. So it's basically, हाँ पैसा तो है यार, पैसा क्या है? I don't prioritize that particular thing at all. Money is going to come in any which ways. It's completely fine. What we have to do is find the right and get progress into things, make things better. Because you might find particular type of person once in a lifetime, but then it's like you just have to believe in yourself, believe in the person, just have to make it even better. It's like what we call it, it's like a one shot wonder. It's basically like just they are like people with good personalities. They might not be doing much, they might not be earning much. Then when you have such a person in your life, you should be grateful about yourself. You should feel proud. You should actually feel proud about yourself, because giving time, it's not easy. It's like it's a very important thing in a person's life. So we need to understand what is happening, what is not. It's good, hard.
Very true. I believe that is very, very true. Little by little, every day is actually, I feel I relate to it. It's very true.
Yeah,
You
it's
can't do big things
yeah,
and in a day. You have to take it each day, one at a time.
doing good deeds. Yep, it's not good or bad. It's basically we need to understand what exactly we are. Why do we actually exist? There's a certain point in life where you find certain things that you actually care for, that you actually think is worth your time. You just have to stick to it, be with it, no matter what. That is how you appreciate certain situations in life. That is how you appreciate, even if you don't say it out loud, you do it by action. That is more important. Anyone can say anything. Even if someone does something, you just say thank you and you feel अरे मैंने thank you बोल दिया. ऐसा नहीं होता ना. When the other person's feeling good about what you did, that is more important. The feeling that you actually induce into someone is what is more important. And when you think it's actually doing something good, हाँ सिर्फ अपने बारे में सोचना it's not right, because you are, see, one person can do two things. So one person, if he has good knowledge and things about things, it's fine. Then when two people combine can do 100 things, that is more productive, that is more doing better out there. So that is how we have to think. It's basically not that one person had did it and the other person did not. Doesn't matter. You are involved into it, which is more important. You are in it, you are talking about it, is more important. It's just because you did not do what the other person did doesn't mean you are not doing anything. Basically, you care about the other person doing it and you appreciate it. That is more important. Just have that good, happy feeling inside you. Not just because you did not do it. You should not just conclude into things saying, "Arey, what will the other person think? I did not do anything." This, that. ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता है. When a person is doing something, it is something, right? It is something important. You are a priority. You are important. Just because a person did something doesn't mean sorry. ऐसा नहीं होता ना. When there's time, effort, and things put in, you are a priority to that other person. You are important. You are very important. You are a VIP in that person's life. That is what people have to realize. Like it's like people, like multiple people might do certain things. Then they are a certain people. You automatically will know like who's the important, who's actually trying to behave, who's trying to fake it, who's trying to just make things. You will automatically come to know. But then yeah, they are certain traits inside you where you know, like you have to trust your instincts, you have to trust yourself, you have to believe. Once you start believing, it's going to make a big difference. Just because we think अच्छा हाँ मैंने कर दिया तो चलो हो गया बस, तब ऐसा नहीं होता ना. When you are combined with another person, there might be a bigger difference to what you think it was actually quite good. That is how everyday life is. When you are into a person's life, then feel the importance, give the importance. You have to get involved into it. You have to be in it. You have to make a difference what others could not do. वही है, past experience are past experiences. It's fine. You might have made a difference in someone's life, which is good for them, right? But then what now it is, and what you are trying to do is more important. You might have given them some good life lessons back then. They might have learned something from you. It's good. I mean, as a big contribution to things around what happened. But then we have to we have to feel alive, which is more important. Feeling more alive. See, like just an example. If a person's like just in general, like texting to someone, one person will have the butterflies. Like, अरे message आ गया. It's like a different feeling. Like they forget about what was happening actually. They just get involved in the same that feeling should happen. Like it should be a mutual feeling. It cannot be the same. But then there's an understanding between what is what. So when there's a thing happening, you should have that responsibility of responding and being in that situation, getting involved, giving importance. It's a different feeling, like not a joke. It actually does daily. It's like how you feel in the superhero movies when he gets a power up or something. ऐसा feeling आ जाता है. स्टार और सुपरमैन का सीन कैसा है वैसा वैसा होता है. It's like being more alive. Like when I'm with a person, try being more alive. Stick to it. Stick to it for the rest of your life. Doesn't matter what is what. It's just see it's just the life that we are living, right? Every day we wake up, we just eat something, start doing what we have to do that day, finish. But then when you think of how alive and what is our purpose here, then we tend to get into confusions thinking that हाँ this is ये नहीं किया, कल करते हैं, ये ऐसा करते हैं, ये ऐसा करते हैं. It's basically like we need to grab onto things. We just have to believe. I know people say a lot of things just because to make the other person feel better. But then there are certain people who say it just why? Because they felt it. That is how they feel. That is what they believe. Like that is what they believe in that person. That is what they actually think. That is coming from
कीकड़ा कहाँ से आया बीच में? What?
I just don't
अच्छा नहीं समझा मुझे.
believe in walking in crowd. I mean we have to be among others, but then doesn't mean that what the person's household has been talking about is how things have to be, is what has to be this, that, this. That is what they think it is. What now exactly is happening is you need to explore. You need to just because what we call they say हाँ ये इधर का है तो ये इधर का इधर मतलब they just want to connect two lines which are very close because they don't want to make an effort, because just because they can't travel a few more kilometers, they just don't want to travel that distance. impact us, but then yeah, we know our conscience mind is talking in gameplay.
हाँ, तभी तभी एक्चुअली इट टेक्स टू का बोला था। आज का कॉन्वर्सेशन वैसा ही है कुछ।
That is actually true. One little thing that you do for a person actually makes a big difference. That is the small things people don't understand, right? It's everything is economy now. ये चीज हुआ चलो पैसे निकाल, ये चीज किया तो ये करो, करा तो ये, करा तो ये. There's always something you want. What do you want? What will you do when you get it? They don't even know what they want.
जैसे वो होता है ना कॉल ऑफ ड्यूटी में, लेजेंडरी रैंक हुआ या नहीं पीपल से, उसके बाद तो वैसे भी कुछ नहीं करना बचता. हाँ, इट्स लाइक सेम पीपल आस्क यू टू प्ले समथिंग, दे स्टार्ट सेइंग अरे गेम खेलो, फिर गेम खेलने के बाद अरे स्लो खेल रहे हो. ऐसा हो जाता है.
चंचल दिमाग लोगों के अंदर इतना रहा है, it's like an electricity.
Like they don't want the person to be and understand or let them experience what they are.
गेम में आते हैं चलो
ऐसा है.
इधर उतरो, ये करो वो करो, उसको मारो, इतने लोगों को मारो,
Yeah,
जीत जाओ, बस
it
हो गया.
becomes more हाँ mechanical.
क्या ही करना है, वो कभी भी कर सकते हैं, आज नहीं कल नहीं, नेक्स्ट सीजन में आएगा तब कर सकते हैं, उसमें क्या है. You have when you are around people, try and behave, try to understand everyone.
साथ में जब ऐसे सब प्रॉपर कोऑर्डिनेशन से खेलते हैं, उससे ज़्यादा खुशी मिलती है लेजेंडरी आने पे.
लेजेंडरी होने के बाद बॉट्स ही मिलेंगे, तब क्या करेगा. बॉट्स को मार के खुश हो जाएगा, अरे मेरा 10 KD है, 12 KD है, 20 KD है, सबको बोलते फिर है क्या, उसको अवार्ड देने वाला है कोई, कुछ नहीं देने वाला कोई, बस उसको देख के हंसेंगे, अरे क्या बोल रहा है.
हाँ, the time you play and you enjoy it, तब कैसा लगता है वो इम्पोर्टेंट है नहीं. How you have fun, how you enjoy it, वो इम्पोर्टेंट होना चाहिए.
If there's a particular personality that you have to develop, let's say if you are playing a game, you should have that personality of either you take responsibility of the team that you're playing with or just walk along with them. Don't have to say things just because you saw something before the game, this is what you had to do, doesn't make you a hero among them. They know what you do, they have the trigger button with them, they can do the same thing that you can.
Exactly.
Everything's the same. Why do you have to be the hero? If you want to be the hero, take responsibility, give calls karna, this is what is happening, this is what is going to do this. Say it in a tone which everyone can understand. You just can't command something, just can't command or say something, just you should like think हाँ ये follow करोगे, ऐसा नहीं होता. When you have a behavior, when you have a personality, people are going to like you for that. You have to behave, only then everyone's going to like.
जैसे कॉल ऑफ ड्यूटी में मैं रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी लेके लीड करती हूँ आईजीएल की तरह, वैसे. ऐसे करना होता है.
सही है. It's the perfect example. Very good example. Not an example. It's like a true fact. I'm just not making up things. I'm saying it how it is.
Okay. Thank you. I think it is time.
Oh,
It is time that we say this is it for tonight's podcast. Oh.
yes.
ये
अरे
अच्छा था.
अपना एज यार खतरनाक फुल सीन एकदम टेंशन नहीं. लोग सुनते नहीं है, बस जरा प्रिपेयर करना है. प्रिपेयर का टाइम आएगा तब करें.
Yes. Very true, Jelly Bean. I hope you all enjoyed today's podcast, and I hope to see you very soon in the next one. Till then, I hope you have a very good night. It was fun, yeah. I full carry करने वाला है चले. Okay. Thank you.